Let me know where it's at. Whoop, whoop. Oh, those are some dangerous claps. There is some dangerous claps. No, I didn't have to go to the washroom. I had to pray. Had to pray with the wife. I don't like when we do it afterwards because then life gets in the way and then the prayer is short. We get a good family prayer in. So I had to take that extra time. My apologies. Hope you guys had a great weekend. All 6 hours of that absolutely epic weekend that you guys had. Fantastic stuff. Let's jump right in. There's been a bunch of stuff that's been going on. Let's talk about it. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. Even I got caught up in the X drama this weekend. I got caught up. I don't like to get caught up. I got caught up a little bit. You know, I thought I got caught up with multiple people, but it turns out it was all one guy from multiple burner accounts. So I was like, okay, all right. Not as bad as I thought. Thought it was like 4 people, but nope, it was just one guy. Anyway, I'm not gonna give that pleb any energy today. Let's just jump in. We got Candace Owens just revealed something. Okay, she just talked about this like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 before I went live. Then we have Gary making a huge foible in regards to Candace Owens. A lot of people seem to think she was on Russian TV. She was on a Russian outlet. That's what they think about Candace. Very interesting. And we got Baron Coleman on a warpath. Oh, Baron's turning into something. I mean, leave it to someone with the name Baron to be on a warpath. You know what I mean? We're going to break down some of what Baron went through. Some clips as well. Then we have Timcast, and he's totally convinced. Oh, you know what? This has nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with any finance. Nothing to do with my podcast potentially getting shut down. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm totally convinced Candace is an op now. Let me tell you guys about this. You know, just high energy Tim. Then we're going to do a quick Wolves breakdown because Wolves dropped. Then we're going to get into Cash Patel getting his account hacked. This is a weird thing. Then the people of UnF America, they actually confront Andrew Colvett and Jack Posopic. Apparently, Turning Point was behind the scenes doing something very, very odd. Very odd to these people. Now, do they deserve it? I don't know. You might think they do. I might think they don't. You know, I'm kind of in between. I didn't like what they used to do to Charlie, but at the same time, it seems like there was some behind the scenes craftiness. Another cease and desist is sent out. Ben Shapiro kind of says the quiet part out loud as he does. Watching a Brandy and Billy clip blind. I do not know what this is about, but Lionel reposted it, so I want to check it out. And then something weird with Lindsey Graham. Then we get into JP Spears apologizing for what he has said about Philadelphia, aka Israel. So it should be a fun show. Let's jump right in here, right at the top. Apparently there's trading cards now. Okay, Lisi put this into play. If you don't know, Lisi, the creator of the Mint Daddy Awards show, the Mint Daddy fashion show, she's the creator of it, right? So apparently that's going on. Let me kick this volume up just a touch. So that's what's going on there. You got the Baron Coleman. You should have gave us nicknames. You got the Baron Coleman. Okay, then you have his @ here, and then what is his little catchphrase here? And that is your opening statement. And then what's mine? Let's get into it. Oh, that's true. That is true. You could go with whoop whoop. You could, but let's get into it has been there from the beginning. In terms of what you guys have been able to hear. There you have it. You can get number 1, number 2. Don't know what these things do yet. Okay, I don't know where the Candace one is. I assume that one's coming soon. But let's get to Druski, ladies and gentlemen. I just have to talk about this very quick because a lot of people are thinking that this is Druski. Guys, this is not Druski. This is a lady.
Some of the amazing things that Florida and Texas have done. And it starts,
guys,
with not being afraid.
Leave this lady alone. This is not Druski at all. This is a lady. She's doing her thing. She's at CPAC. What's the matter with you guys? This is part of the reason people thought this was a Druski skit. Because they saw her doing this crazy dance in front of the American flag. It does look a lot like what Druski would do, but it is not, ladies and gentlemen. This is just how this lady rolls, okay? And I'm actually here for it. I wish I could dance in front of a crowd of people. I cannot do that. I can tell jokes, but it'll be a cold day in HE double hockey sticks before you see me dancing in front of a crowd. So that is not Druski. This thing's getting out of control. I just have to say, okay, somebody made this picture absolutely uncalled for. I mean, just absolutely uncalled for. This is sweeping the nation. This is too much. It's on Las Vegas Boulevard. Guys, relax. All right. That's all I'm saying. Just relax. All right, now let's get into some more important stuff. As you can see, the compass in the square going on in a check mark. Or maybe that's how a square actually looks. Or maybe, is this the compass or is that the square? I don't know. I'm not a Mason. Ask your fellow Mason around you which is which. But apparently 22 people are to stand trial in France. This is what Candace was reporting on. From Monday on charges of that and other serious crimes centered on a Masonic lodge accused of running hit squads. Now, this is why this piqued Candace's interest, if you can't tell, because they're literally talking about French hit squads. Now, Candace went ahead and talked about this right off jump just a few minutes. Well, I shouldn't say a few minutes ago. A couple of hours ago, she was talking about this. She said these Freemasons run the French government and founded America. None of this is imagined. It goes back over a millennia. Repeatedly, Charlie Kirk's murder was a ritual. Relatedly, Charlie Kirk's passing was a ritualistic offing, and French Foreign Legion troops were on the ground. Happy Monday. That is how Candace starts Monday. That's why I'm the morning show. Because if Candace was the morning show, she would start it off just like that. She would be like, guys, this is how we're starting Monday, just so you know. That's why I take the reins in the morning. Then we got Candace after. Then we have Baron, you know. Candace also mentioned this. She goes, remember when I told you the French government put a hit on me and DGSE was involved? Remember when I told you Charlie Kirk's passing was a free Masonic ritual? This is what France is and always has been. I will say it again, that Brigitte Macron is a dangerous military man. Very interesting stuff. The article, part of the article that she's showing here, those in the dock include 4 military personnel from the French Foreign Legion Service, DGSE, 2 police officers, a retired domestic intelligence officer, a security guard, and 2 business executives. They are accused of offing. They're accused of the offing of a racing driver, the attempted offing of a business coach, and a trade unionist, aggravated assault and criminal conspiracy, all on behalf of a mafia network inside the former, I don't know how to say this, Athenorn Masonic Lodge in Paris suburb of, come on, I don't know, Putox? I know this is Ox, right? Putiox? Anyway, so that is what's happening. You know, hold on. A piece of my chair fell off. I don't know. It's a good chair, but I don't know. It's magnets for some reason. But this reminds me of someone who sent me a theory. They just had a theory. They sent it in an email. And they're like, what if Brigitte and the missing time that Candace discusses is because she joined the French Foreign Legion and entered as one identity, because this is what they do for you. They take your passport for years, maybe even like 4 years, 3 years. And then after that, you have the choice. You can take your passport back. You can keep that identity, or you can decide, I want a whole other identity. And they will hook you up. They will make sure that you get that other identity, and everything else is just left with that person, that identity, and you move on with a fresh new one. That person's theory was that's what happened with Brigitte, is that she walked in, Barry. I don't know. What does Candace say the original name was? Walked in, Barry, left Brigitte. I always thought that was a fun theory, because I was like, yeah, how far does it go when they decide to give you a new identity? Like, how much are they willing to do? Like, is it just as much as you're willing to do? You know, like maybe you're leaving and they're like, okay. And you open up the passport and you go, no, you got it wrong. They go, what's the problem? You put male down. I want a female one. And they're like, what? I'm going to a doctor after this. I want a female one now. Maybe they're just like, because the French Foreign Legion, there's something else. I mean, as much as, we've heard about it in this very negative way, the way it works sounds really cool. I mean, it really does. I would never do it. I don't think I could serve in any respect. I don't have that courage in me, but I mean, it's pretty cool. You go there, you just knock on the door. It's like Fight Club, when they're knocking on the door and they're like, and they close the door, and then you wait out there for a day with like a sleeping bag, and then they open the door. It's crazy. It's so weird. If Interpol knocks on their door and says, you have someone in there we want, they're like, screw you. It's like, what? And then they make you do push-ups and pull-ups. And then when you pass the fitness test and the interrogation, they go, okay, give us your passport. And then you just start serving. And if you don't speak French, you're going to learn it, and they're not going to teach you. It's actually crazy when you break down how it all works. But that is something I think Candace is going to be touching on very, very soon. Okay. I don't know what she's going to be saying. I don't know what it's all going to look like, but I think that's something she's going to bring up. I would imagine, I can't imagine a world where she just says this on X and doesn't talk about this. Okay. Anyway, I really want to talk to her ex-director, Mark Splain, the man who goes live now. We all know Mark, great guy, friend of the show, of course. Candace Owens, friend of the show. Helped us form the Battle Bun Committee. But I would love to know the research he did, because the research he did, he's like, I have no doubt in my mind. He's like, there's no doubt in my mind. And he's a pretty level-headed guy. He doesn't go along with everything Candace says. That's not the job that he had. His job was to push back. So he was not supposed to, but he was given this role where he could push back very hard and they could debate. So the fact that she was like, this is what I think, and then he looked into it and he goes, yep, you're 100% right. I would love to know what they found. And when we do a crossover episode, I think that's what I'm going to push on, if he's allowed to talk about it, because there is a bunch of stuff going on. We're trying to dodge these letters. We're trying to dodge them from Turning Point. We're also trying to, not get into the whole Brigitte thing, right? Don't want to upset them too much. Anyways, that's the clip, Lance. That's a weird one. That's a very weird one. Let's get into the next thing that happened with Candace Owens. Okay. Oh man, I didn't find the person who reposted it. If somebody knows who screenshotted what Gary said about Candace Owens, if somebody could please, Travis, thank you so much. Travis reposted the fact that I'm going live. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. There's somebody who took a screenshot of what Gary said. Now I'll put you guys up to speed here. The post is deleted by the post author. Okay. As you can see right there, the post author was Gary. Gary, I had to tell Gary this. I go, I go, Gary, it's a clip they're playing. She's not on their show. Okay. Gary had no idea. Gary really thought that Candace Owens was on a Russian news station giving an interview. Okay. Now, this is just proof. I've talked about this in regards to Balak's tones. I've talked about this with, I think his name's David Harris Jr. That guy looks like a clone. He just does. Looks like he was made in a tube. But I've talked about people who seem like they're a part of this coordinated thing, and they're not even reading the stuff that they're putting out. They're not doing any research into it. They just, it's like someone gives it to them and they run with it. And that's exactly what I saw from Gary here. Because when I looked at it, it was pretty easy to tell. Now, I know, guys, listen, this is what I sent Gary. So I know what we all think of Gary. Go ahead there, Curly. I know what we all think of Gary, right? But those are jokes. Those are jokes that I make about Gary. Man, I didn't really think that. So this is the clip that Gary saw, and he was like, oh my God, she's a Russian asset. Oh my God. Listen to this.
Глядя на все это, мы говорим, что не получили обещанного. Вместо того, мы видим, что многих солдат отправляют обратно домой со службы за границей.
So what you're seeing is just Candace side by side with this lady. So this lady is watching a clip of Candace. That's it. And listening to it be translated. That's what's going on. Gary saw this and was like, they're on an interview together.
Многих солдат отправляют обратно домой со службы за границей. Они страдают посттравматическим стрессовым расстройством, вызванным тем, что они видели и в чем участвовали там, в других странах. Причем от нашего вмешательства тем странам не становится лучше. Они не делаются свободнее. Нам говорят, что мы распространяем демократию. Похоже, что получается не очень. А что касается Ирака, так вот на моем подкасте на этой неделе как раз зашла речь о настоящих причинах, почему мы там оказались. Для расхищения гробниц. Решение построить военную базу на месте, где раньше был Вавилон, было связано и с раскопками древности и мотив. И наше правительство признает, что именно так и было. В частности, из-за Гильгамеша. Была обнаружена гробница Гильгамеша, а уже через несколько недель наше правительство заявило о необходимости войти в Ирак. Всегда есть разница между тем, что говорят общественности, и...
This is it, guys. That's it. It's just a clip being translated. This lady's listening to it. And that set off all sorts of stuff. Even this guy. I don't even know who this guy is. What is this? So Gary saw this guy post this. He reposts it right away, right? This guy is exposing psychological warfare, as he says here in his bio. He says, perhaps the State Department should look into why Candace is going on Russian state-owned domestic news outlet to project an image that the POTUS is lying tyrant and defending our enemies. Okay, approximate transcript best I could. Okay, he's transcribing it the best he could. You could just go watch the episode of what she's talking about. She's literally just talking about Gilgamesh. I'm pretty sure she's sitting with the Hodge twins in this clip, because I remember her being very like closed off energy with the Hodge twins. So that's all this is. And then he just translates it. She's talking about Gilgamesh. She's talking about all sorts of stuff. Just that. And this guy really thought that. And Gary in turn thought that. But Gary deleted it. And he ruined my day. I said, Gary, no. You deleted it? And guess what Gary said? Can you guess what Gary said? Exactly the same thing that this guy said. This guy who's exposing psychological warfare against the president and MAGA by foreign and domestic intelligence operatives. In my weakness, Christ, blah, blah, blah. You can't use Christ at the end of that, okay? You can't be doing stuff like this and then use Christ at the end. But Gary said exactly this. Maybe the State Department has to look into why Candace Owens is on Russian state TV, blah, blah, blah. He said the exact same thing. Not saying Gary's a part of anything coordinated, because Gary is not coordinated. I think we've all seen this, and we know this. Gary is not a coordinated fellow, okay? I don't think that they let him in on the meetings anymore ever since that slip up with the text messages. I think they just say, well, Gary, we're going to have a meeting. And he's like, oh, I'd love to come to the fort with you guys. I can bring steaks. I have T-bones. I would love to come. Can I come, guys? And Andrew's like, Erica's just like, I don't know. This guy seems dumb. I don't like this guy. This guy's ridiculous. Andrew's like, sorry, we're just going to be at the fort in Tucson ourselves. We'll let you know. We'll send you the cliff notes. Okay, Gary? Oh, come on, guys. Come on. I'm on the Egyptian plane already. I'm kidding. They probably let him in, you know? They all seem like semi-dumb, right? You know, you can't throw Gary under the bus like he's worse than the rest of them, you know what I mean? But yeah, the whole thing was very funny. If anybody, I always leave X open in case there's anything breaking. There was a lady who was nice enough to take a screenshot, and I was like, oh, there it is. And I saved it, and I have no idea where it went. So if you have that screenshot, if you know what I'm talking about, please tag me in it so I can see it again. It was just the best thing ever. The fact that he deleted it was just like, mwah, perfect. Because he deleted it simply because I said it. And let me tell you something else. Gary put me in a thumbnail recently. There's people in the Discord, in my Discord, I believe. They were like, oh, that means Coach made it to the big league. Being in Gary's thumbnails, not the big league. Are you crazy? I don't want to be in Gary's thumbnails. My logo? How dare you? Not even my face, my logo. What are we doing here? Don't put me in your thumbnails, Gary. Don't be like that. I'm nothing. Listen, I know we all laugh. I'm nothing but kind to Gary. Okay? I'm not like Barron. Barron goes off. He goes off on Gary. I'm going to show you some of that right now. I'm nice to Gary. I said Curly. Let me tell you something. Right now, okay? Curly's beloved. Okay? Nobody in the world has any hatred for Curly. Okay? And that's what I bless him with. And he's putting me in thumbnails talking about coordinated attacks. Absolutely ridiculous. It's not fair. I love steak, Gary. You want to have a steak dinner? We can have a steak dinner. You can regale me with stories about Andrew Colvett and Mitch Snow and all the amazing things you've seen. You know, there is a rumor. I know because I'm starting the rumor right now. Gary is actually descendants of the Giants of Kandahar. You ever heard of the Giants of Kandahar? They're these red-headed giants. Gary is actually descendant of one of those giants. Shh. Tell everybody. Shh. Tell every single person. Shh. Anyway. We're silly. We're just silly. That's all. Anyway. Stop putting me in thumbnails, Gary. Please and thank you. Let me see that thumbnail. I don't think I've ever gone to Gary's YouTube channel before. I think I went once when we first met, and I told him to be respectful. And he didn't like that at all. I was like, you should be respectful. I respect you. You should respect me. That went away quick, you know? I want to see this thumbnail. This thumbnail that Gary has going on here. Look at this. Look at this thumbnail. How dare you, Gary? This is crazy. Look at this. I'm right there. Right behind Candace. Barron. Look, everybody gets a face except for me. And listen, I put out like 25 hours of content a week, okay? You can find a picture of me, sir. Coordinated attacks. Oh, I'm a part of the PSYOP. He's saying I'm a part of the PSYOP. Oh, I'm the one coordinating. Let me tell you something. Look at these pictures. There's Milo there in the corner, right? You see Milo there. See Ian there. Listen, every time I text message Ian, he doesn't answer back for like 3 weeks, okay? I've never talked to Milo, ever. I don't really want to at all. Project Constitution attacked me. Me and Barron talk, but it's usually like about Spotify and stuff like that, you know? Sometimes we have some laughs, you know, talk about, merch and stuff. And Candace has mentioned me like twice on her show. One time she was forced to. I'm a part of some coordinated effort. We're the worst coordinated bunch ever. Like, what? We're terrible if we're coordinated. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Everybody's on black people time in our coordinated group. It's absolutely terrible. Anyway, shout out to Baron. He made the thumbnail as well. Congrats to Baron, by the way. 250,000 subscribers. I promise you, I've been there since it was 1,000.04 subscribers. That's when I first subscribed. Now this guy's at 250,000. Absolutely incredible. Shout out to you, sir. This is proof. You're never too old. I'm joking. I'm joking. I will be in the 40 club very soon. We're entering April, which means I'm entering the 40 club. Oh, I was born in the late 1900s, ladies and gentlemen. I am entering that club. Anyway, just kidding with Baron. Let's jump into what Baron's doing here. Baron is becoming a problem. I have to say, Baron is becoming a problem. Okay, not for me, but for Turning Point. He's becoming a real problem. Almost worse than Candace, I have to say. I'm going to play this clip. Then we're going to play, what do we got here? Then we got this one. You can already tell he's pissed. And then we're going to expand on this Lisa character. Oh, wait. I think I should play that with that, because then we're going to jump into this Lisa girl, because Baron kind of digs into her and what she's all about. I called out this Lisa chick, I don't know, months ago when I saw her blaming Jillian for what Erica Kirk was saying to her via text message. I ended up calling that whole thing out. Oh, and then we have the Andrew thing. Oh, this is my warning to Baron when it comes to Andrew Wilson. And it's not the warning you think. It's not the warning you think. Anyway, let's jump in here.
Only produce itineraries for their own jets. They're out of their league. They're out of their league. I don't know who they think we are. But if you go back, I want to go back and show you something. This is amazing. The bottom picture right here is the picture from the itinerary. This is the picture from the itinerary here. You'll notice if you zoom in, if you look real closely on the tail at the bottom, there's no tail number on it. See on the top up here, there's a tail number, this N937RA. They're supposedly showing you the jet that they're going to be flying on, but they blacked out the tail number because it's not the same jet. This is the picture they blacked it out from. This is the picture they photoshopped. This top picture. We were able to track that picture down. So they've already edited the document, but I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get a Regency Air flight on a Paradise Jet letterhead. You're just not going to. It's just not possible. In my opinion, I will be happy to review an actual manifest, but you're not going to get that. And let me.
That's wild. Just to say, he's going to talk to Andrew a little bit here, but that's actually wild that he found that they have already doctored some kind of that's very interesting. Very interesting. I think Baron's going to solve this. You know, all the love to Candace. Candace is the fire. She is the steamroller. She is the one that goes, you know, in those old Western movies, one guy goes over the mountain and then he comes back and he has all the arrows inside of him. And he's like, they're over there, guys. Yeah, that's Candace. She's like, I don't care. I'll go over the mountain. I don't care who's there. I don't care. And then come back with the arrows and be fine. Like, someone can help me pull out all these arrows. She has no problem. But I think Baron might be he might be the one that actually solves this stuff. I mean, people are going to refer back to his work, and Candace's, of course. They're going to refer back to his work 20 years from now when they're talking about Charlie Kirk. When they're talking about Charlie Kirk, and they're talking about former Secretary of State Erica Kirk and the man that she was married to. Oh, it's going to happen. They're pushing for it. They're going to refer back to Baron's work, and they're going to listen to what Baron had to say about a lot of this. But let's go. The Andrew stuff.
Let me say this here. Man to man. Andrew, this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. You don't have to go to Gary. A lot of people have my number. I don't want to give it out over the air, but a lot of people have it. You can get it from Candace. You can get it from a lot of people. Call her and ask for my number. Just call me. You don't have to try to do this debunking through Gary's broads. Just call me. I will make the correction. My goal is to be correct, not to nail you to the wall, not to prove you did anything. My goal is to be correct, Gary. I want to be accurate. I have this open standing agreement with anyone who has evidence that I've been wrong or that my opinion needs to be changed. Give me the evidence and I'll change my opinion. I'll make a correction. That goes for everything I've said. Everything. If you were on that flight, let me know. Call me. You can find me. I'm not hard to track down, despite what some people say. It's unnecessary doing this song and dance. Just get on the record. Just get on the record. Now, we have to ask the question.
Oh, they want no problems with a guy like this. Just get on the record. And they're like, who's this podcaster? They've for sure looked into him already. They're like, who's this podcaster? What is he? Another one of these guys? What is he talking about? Mints and, doing Brian Harpole impressions. And they're like, no, he used to be an attorney. He's been able to practice law in Florida for 17 years. And I think, what did he say? I think he said Alabama, 20 years. They're like, oh my God, what? Yeah, that's the guy. And he's a podcaster now? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why, but he said you could call him and get on the record. I'd be like, oh shit, absolutely not. I'm not getting on the record with a guy like that. They're scared. They have to be. That's a problem. Look, and then he's looking into things like this. That's the face he's making when he's looking into things. Oh, I want no issues with someone like that. I want no qualms whatsoever. Let's move on. Here. This is where he starts talking about Lisa and Gary.
Brings us to something that's happened today because we have somebody who's popped up. This is a frequent guest of perhaps the greatest investigative mind in the Charlie Kirk sphere, Gary. I'm going to share with you just a small clip under fair use, Gary, because I just have to introduce this girl and show that you guys are, in fact, connected. This girl on the right is a Gary guest. She comes on Gary's show. She says crazy stuff. I'll give you a sample here where she was attacking your humble host.
I don't care if it was $100,000 a week.
I would be interested to see, since he's a lawyer.
They're talking about me. I'm he. Let's hear what this brilliant woman has to say.
I would be interested to see if you can go in and see if people have reported anything against his law license, or like to the bar, the bar association or anything like that. Because what he's doing, I feel like violates the
Well said. I feel like it violates the well. So this is the girl. I'll introduce you to her in just a moment. But I want to answer her question because.
Well said. Jeez. Every podcast that runs into this guy becomes a 17-year-old boy, and they're coming to the door saying, "Oh, I'm here to pick up your daughter." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. How about we get on the record with some things here, son? How about we get on the record? What are you trying to do right now? What's happening? Yeah, sorry, honey. You can't go out with this guy because he doesn't know how to put together sentences. He's not going to be able to order dinner for you. I'm sorry, honey. Go back to your room. This is ridiculous, son. Have a good day. Hopefully your dad teaches you how to speak. Bye." Closes the door in their face. That's what every podcaster who runs into Barron turns into. Oh man.
I think it's a valid question. Has anyone ever filed a bar complaint against me? Not one that's been accepted by the bar. I'm licensed in 3 states, Gary. You keep saying Florida. I've been licensed in Florida since 2007. 19 years I've been licensed there without incident, no bar complaints, no issues. I've been licensed in Alabama for 20 years, since 2006. Again, no accepted bar complaints. There was one lunatic who tried to file a bar complaint against me for something I said on the radio. This would have been, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. I'm not sure when it was. She was representing pharmaceutical companies or somebody. She was representing some trade group, I think, and they were arguing against medical marijuana in a health committee in a state legislature in Alabama. And I suggested that it was weird that she was taking the position of a big pharma whore.
We never expect language like this from Barron's podcast. It's one of the few podcasts where we don't hear words like that. That's why I said he's on a warpath. Okay? Gets excitable when you start questioning his morality and his he gets a little excitable when you start questioning that part of things. He doesn't like that at all when you're getting into the little threatening realm. Because you know what that lady did? Just to touch on what this Lisa girl was doing. She's not just saying, oh, I wonder if anybody's doing that. She's trying to put out a beacon of a suggestion of, hey, if you guys feel like we feel, because she's on Gary's podcast, why hasn't anybody tried to report him? Why hasn't anybody done that? This is exactly what happened to Jordan Peterson. A lot of people didn't like Jordan Peterson. The reason, well, it was partly the government, but also people who just didn't like him. His license, his license to practice psychology came into question in Canada because hundreds of people just started making complaints. Not to the bar, that's legal talk, but like the psychology bar, right? The people who make sure that you stay licensed and are licensed and blah, 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 the association. And they made hundreds of complaints. None of the complaints came from people who were actually involved with him in any way, were clients of his in any way. But because there were so many, they said you have to go through re-education. Of course, it's Canada. Re-education, gonna hold your eyes open and be like, okay, here you go. Here's Justin Trudeau dancing in blackface, right? They're gonna do that kind of thing to you. He didn't want to do it. So the reason that lady is doing that is so something like that could happen to Barron. Because if they can't get your audience to move away from you, well, then they'll try and go after something like your profession. It doesn't matter whether or not Jordan Peterson can practice psychology. Although he is very sick. Hope you get better, sir. It doesn't matter whether or not he can practice psychology. He just goes on tour and makes millions of dollars. He just releases a book and gets millions of dollars. It doesn't matter if you do that to Barron right now. Barron's a podcaster right now. He's a broadcaster, as he would say. It doesn't matter. Wouldn't hurt him at all. But they're looking for anything that could hurt him right now. They've shifted whatever bounty, as Jimmy Dore let us all know about bounties, whatever bounty was available for Candace when Candace kind of simmers down and he cooks up Barron. They shift that bounty over to whoever. And it seems like they've shifted that over to him. And that's why Gary and Lisa are literally focused on him during this podcast. So that is what's going on. That is the game that they play. I've seen this 100 times. Used to see it on the left, see it on the right a lot more nowadays.
Because on the radio, I call people globalist, corporatist whores. That's what they were. These are people who push globalism, who push corporatism over and above humanity. And so I long refer to people like statists, big government people as globalist, corporatist whores. That's what they are. They are prostitutes for that industry, for that position. Likewise, we had war whores, people who are pushing defense and war, like Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, Mike Huckabee. And then I had big pharma whores. The big pharma whores were people who were pushing.
Okay, so that's like 10 times now, okay? That's like 10 times now, Barron, okay? What's going on? How many more times is he going to say that word? He's right. He's correct in he's not said, and there's no lie to point to here. It's just so many times he said it. I have not even a Joe Rogan podcast has said this word so many times. It's fine. It's fine.
Pushing big pharma to harm individuals. And so I questioned, why was this woman a big pharma whore? She filed a bar complaint against me and lied in it and said I called her a prostitute. I did not. The tapes were submitted as evidence. Her thing was dismissed before the bar ever accepted it. And they wrote me a nice letter, a very kind letter. And I posted it to Twitter years ago, maybe to Facebook too. A very kind letter they sent back. And they said, essentially, we have refused to accept this. You can go and honestly say no one has ever filed a bar complaint against you. Nevertheless, even though they told me that, I'm going to be honest with you. She tried to file one because I called her a big pharma whore. And she was a big pharma whore.
19 times he said it, you know? But, you know, he's doing this whole breakdown on them. I just want to move ahead a little bit here past the W talk.
Her that she would never forget this, that she can't possibly have made it up. This is just something that's like ingrained in her body. She recalls it plain as day yesterday. Andrew, you're free to deny you said it. I want to make that. Let me pull this down and look in the camera, Andrew. I encourage you, if it wasn't true, please do this, by the way. If you did not say that, Andrew, just deny it. You don't have to do all this. You can just deny it. Just come out and deny it. See how that goes. I'll suggest it may not end the way you think it will. But here's the tarmac hug that never was. So they're denying the tarmac hug. Andrew Colvett flight itinerary. That's a key word there. We'll talk about that. Flight itinerary for 9/10/25 just dropped. It's my contention. It's Candace's contention that it's likely or possible or at least probable, at least in my opinion, that Andrew might have been on an earlier flight than he is claiming. Instead of flying directly from Santa Barbara to Provo, he might have taken an earlier flight to Scottsdale. The problem for Andrew, if he was on that earlier flight, is he would have had to get to the airport probably before or just about the exact time as the Big Bang. That flight took off, I think, 17 minutes or so after Charlie Kirk went down. You can't get from your desk into your car to the airport, out of your car, into the airport, in the airport parking lot, out of your car, into the airport, out on the tarmac, on the plane, close the door, cross-check, clear for takeoff, and start taxiing down the runway in 17 minutes. It's just not possible. Or 14 minutes, whatever it was.
Wow.
That's not possible. So if he was on the earlier flight, it raises a serious suspicion about what Andrew knew and when he knew it. And so there's this desperation, this real desperation to prove he was on another flight. And so this girl gets involved. Gary's guest gets involved.
So more about Gary's guest, right? I gave you a quick summary, right? This is the post that he's talking about here. Went and found it. This is the lady, Lisa Knows. Lisa Knows 429. Investigative broad. I like that. I like that. It's not true, but I like it. I like the sound of it. So this is the post that he's talking about, or he's talking about. This is her post. Let me just tell you something here. Let me just show you the energy here. Okay. Let me just show you the energy here. Hey, you're lying. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. Okay. I shouldn't say that. What comes to my mind right away when I see this energy, you are this upset. Okay. Arms crossed negative. You're this upset about what Baron Coleman has said about Andrew Colvett and a flight. That's the energy you're giving off. That you're real angry about that. I found it very weird when I saw how angry she was about what happened with Erica Kirk and Jillian. When she found out that Jillian was saying, you know, this whole text message thing that was back and forth, or, you know, X and posts and, you know, their back and forth interactions were very weird. I found it so odd that Lisa was so mad about this whole thing because I found her on TikTok, right? And I was like, you know, she has no following. She has no views. Somehow, Balix Tones finds her video and covers it. Now, this is when I had a hunch that Balix wasn't doing any research and people were just handing him things, right? And he was just reading them. I had a hunch, okay? But then, like, a couple weeks later, I was like, oh, this confirms it. Like, I know for a fact. He's not doing any research. But somehow, Balix got a hold of it. Balix is covering it. He plays her whole video. I was like, that's really weird, you know? Because I know how this whole online thing works. You don't just make a video about Erica Kirk and then suddenly one of the biggest, I may not like him, but one of the biggest names in X, in the whole investigative conspiracy realm, all of a sudden grabs your video and says, hey, look at this. That's not how it works. Nisi, or Niece, whatever her name is, Nancy, I think her name is, Niece Social. She built up a, 260K following. Then Candace found her. Barron, he built up to 200K. Then Candace found him. Me, I was at 340 something or other. And then Candace mentioned me. There's like a big slog. Same with Ian. Like I worked for a long time. Then Ian's like, hey, check this guy out. You work for a long time before stuff like that just randomly happens. Those are good people. Those are good. Candace and Ian, good people. Ian showed me massive amounts of love. And so does Barron as well. That doesn't just happen overnight while you're at, you know what I mean? It's very weird. Very, very weird. So I thought back then that this lady, I said what I always say, can't prove that there's any financial incentive whatsoever. But I can prove that when you have 0 following and you get 0 views, there's no incentive to just make the video. You know, it's different if you're making money because of what you're talking about. That's a normal thing, happens to people all the time. She wasn't making any money, but yet she was really, really dialed into this whole thing. And then a week later, she pops up, after Balak, she pops up with Gary. And then I was like, oh, okay. She's like a part of that team of things, that little clique of things, you know? So that's what I think's going on with Lisa. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Gary's just randomly pulling this lady in. I think there's something going on there. Couldn't tell you what, couldn't prove what, but I think there's something happening there where she is getting ready to be this angry. The only way you're getting this angry is if you got a new job. If you got a new job, you might just take this stance watching a Baron Coleman video. Otherwise, you're kind of just, even if you disagree with him, kind of just be sitting there like this. You're kind of just going to be sitting there. Because you're like, okay, this is the content that I'm doing now. But to get this angry? I don't know, man.
Santa Barbara, before Charlie got shot, then there was a plot to kill him. That's why it matters. If Andrew left Santa Barbara before Charlie got shot, there was a plot to kill Charlie Kirk. And a jumpsuit at Aloe? Oh my God, no! Of course she wasn't buying a
hug with Erica Kirk. She then says that at 4:36, a plane does come in from Santa Barbara and lands in Provo, and she says that she believes that this is Andrew's wife because she states that they were traveling separately that day. This is a set of plane details and a timeline that Candace has given to her audience multiple times. I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom one there. The tail.
See what I mean? She does these like very heavy breakdowns. Has all this odd information, right? I don't know. That's me, you know. Seems like a shill to me, right? If it walks like Gary and talks like Gary and acts like Gary, it's probably a shill, right? So that's how the saying goes, right? I'm a little loose on how that saying actually goes, but I think that's how it goes. So that is the girl who's now trying to go in on Barron. So also to what Barron said in that same podcast, Gary did respond right away. Gary actually responded while Barron was live as he did that, because Barron talked about Gary about 30 minutes into that live stream that he did. Gary says this at about 8 o'clock. So the times do kind of match up. So right away, Gary's like, Baron Coleman, again, lied to his audience and claims that I said Mitch Snow / Harry Myers was not at Fort Huachuca. Here's 6 minutes of proving that's a lie. Baron, Whisper Campaign Coleman. That's not a good nickname. Gary, message me if you want to give someone a nickname. I can help you out, man. Whisper Campaign? Come on, it's not good enough, man. Come on. Gary just keeps trying and just striking out, man. The former government informant doing what he does, propaganda and false narratives. Feel free to retract your BS. Yeah, I have not seen Barron actually respond to this at all. I've seen a lot of people, other people, they're calling him desperate, all sorts of things. He's not desperate. He has a job. He has a job. That's all. Not desperate, you know? Maybe he was desperate at one point, but now that he has this job, he's no longer desperate. That's just my thinking. And then it's just 6 minutes of him just saying, you know, Mitch is at Fort Huachuca. Mitch is at Fort Huachuca. So he's rather upset with Barron that Barron said in one sentence, which means that Gary's watching pretty close, or somebody's watching it for him. Because Barron did say that he did mention Gary not believing he was at Fort Huachuca. And at the beginning of everything, Gary actually did say he didn't think he was at Fort Huachuca. At the very beginning, okay? Before all of this stuff, he did mention that. Before this even happened, this little meeting here between Candace and Mitch, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll get ready to retract my BS. I don't know, Gary. Okay? I don't know. Don't really care, but let's go.
I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw. If you had to put it at a percentage.
All right, folks. Again, this is a very common tactic with disinformation. What they do is they confirm, they show you proof, or say they even confirm the non-material elements of the story. All right? I can confirm you were there.
We're double speaking, Gary.
Who cares if you can confirm this guy was there, or you can confirm that he stayed at a freaking Best Western somewhere near Fort Huachuca? None of that matters. What matters is you confirm what he's saying, or anything. I mean, she confirms nothing ever. I mean, that's the problem with all this stuff.
So that was his first clip, and that's what I thought. So he doesn't actually say, "Hey, I think he was at Fort Huachuca." So he's kind of just like pulling strings at Barron here. So whatever. It's just more showing that they're really, really heavily focused on Barron right now. As am I. But we're friends, so I like to play Barron stuff. Here's another Barron clip.
I would have told Erica, you seem nice, but get the hell out of here. Go to French Polynesia for 6 months. Take your kids with you. Go to finishing school and try to learn how to be normal.
Go learn how to be normal. Barron, I mean, what is going on? Barron's pissed. Barron's getting pissed off. This investigation is playing on his last nerve. You know, he's getting to that point where this is ridiculous. He's like, I got 8 kids at home. Now I got a bunch of mentally challenged kids online who are trying to go toe to toe with me. He's like, I'm getting pissed. I didn't sign on for 16 kids. I signed on for 8. I love them. Maybe 9 if that's what God's will is. But now Gary's one of his sons. He didn't sign on for that. He has Erica now. His daughter. He didn't sign on for all this. Getting pissed off. Understandably. Let's keep going here.
Go watch some movies of people crying. Go watch Beaches with Bette Midler. Go learn how to be a normal human being, not some weird robot. And in 6 months or so, when this is all behind us, you clowns can go out there and start talking again, including you, Erica. You guys can start talking again. People will have moved on. No one's going to be talking about it. But if we send you guys out there and you start saying stupid stuff because you guys have been backed by the Republican machine that's covered for your idiocy, your youngness, your youth, your moronicism, if you guys go out there and you just be yourselves, we're cooked. We are cooked. We're cooked, guys, cooked. If we want any chance to salvage this organization, you can't wear the leather pants and come out to fireworks. You just can't. Sorry. Go to French Polynesia. Disappear for a little while. Everyone will understand. Your husband was just killed. Go be Jackie Kennedy. You have plenty of time to be rich and famous and soak it all up and get the limelight later. Let's get this investigation behind us, shall we?
I mean, listen, usually I say that's the clip, Lance. That's the clip, Fleet. That is it. That is the clip. Go ahead and make that. That's perfect. Barron is the attorney. Forget this teacher stuff that you guys are focusing on. Get out of here with that. He is the lawyer in front of Erica Kirk, and Blake is there, and Andrew's there, and they're sitting there. They're just sitting in chairs, just like kids, their knees knocking, and they're just like, and he's just like, go somewhere, go to this place, get out of here. If we have you in leather pants, we're cooked. Erica puts the leather pants away. She hides them behind her. Andrew's, I mean, that is the clip. Fleet. I don't make recommendations like this. I just say wild things and then it ends up as clips. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Fleet, this is the clip. This is the world. This is the universe where Barron is an attorney. Forget the teacher stuff. Forget it. Get that out of here. Forget the professor stuff. He's the attorney and he's yelling at Turning Point. He is Turning Points. He is the prosecution. He is the one helping them. And this is what they're doing. Gary's there. Erica's there. Blake's there. Andrew's there. And he's yelling at all of them. That is the clip 100%. I mean, come on. That is the best. There's still more to this clip. I don't even know. Do we even have to play it? Am I wrong, guys? Do you guys think I'm wrong about that? I think this is a perfect Fleet clip. Perfect. I'll even repost it. Let me before I play the rest of it, let me just repost this stuff. Here. Let me just go here. At Fleet. Where's Fleet at? Oh yeah, it's like AD. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Fleet. There you go. That's the clip. Put it out there, guys. Let Fleet know. That is wild.
I know they all want to make I mean, they're nothing. None of these people are anything without Charlie Kirk. They're certainly not rich. They don't live in mansions. I know that they were scared to death the gravy train was going to go away, and they had to start fundraising and soaking and selling hats and shirts and beach balls and whatever else they sold. I know that that was a real concern, right? You guys have all moved into multi-million-dollar houses in exotic locations. I get it. You were scared to death that this was all going to dry up and go away. And your fear led you to make some really stupid decisions, like talk, like be seen, be on camera. And this is where you guys are.
I mean, wow. I almost want to end it there, but I can't. There's one more thing. So Andrew Wilson, for some reason, and let me tell you something. Oh, there is something else I have. There's something else I have. Because I just want Barron to know that this is part of this little coordinated thing. Okay? And I have proof. What I think is proof. Oh, did I not save it? Come on. He called him a slippery weasel. Bren. There he is. Boom. Okay. There it is. So now we have Andrew Wilson here. We have Bren after that. So people are trying to get Barron to sit down with Andrew Wilson, right? I'm going to play this clip, but I'll put this here, right? That's Andrew Wilson, if you don't know. He smokes cigarettes. He has a wife with like 3 baby fathers. He gets really mad when you bring that up. Some girl brought it up in a debate, and he absolutely lost it. He got really, really mad when that girl brought it up, that his wife has 3 baby fathers and that his kids aren't his. I salute a man who can take care of kids that aren't his, honestly. I would have benefited from that. My father left. Some man stepped in and raised me like his own. My brother's father, actually, he didn't do that, but he did let me know. He's like, hey, listen, your dad's gone. And he's like, if you need anything, he's like, call me. He's like, I'm here. He's like, I already take care of these 2. He's like, you can call me up too. He's like, I'm here for you. So I salute men that do that. But he gets really mad when you bring it up. He's nothing like my brother's dad. Shout out to Keith. Let's keep going here.
Barron giving a reason to not debate because he knows he would get absolutely destroyed by Andrew Wilson. No, I don't think so. I really don't think I would. What I'm saying is, what are we going to debate? Like, I will debate him, but we got to limit it to he is trying to make the case that Tyler Robinson killed him. That's The burden is on the movant who is stating something. The burden is not on the defense to prove anything. So what is it I'm trying to prove? I can't prove he didn't take the shot because I don't know where he was. I don't have the evidence. We have a charging document with a limited amount of evidence in it. Short of that, I mean, I don't understand what a debate is right now. I'll be happy to talk to him. I'll have a conversation. But a whole like, I'll debate you and we'll talk. No, I mean, unless you want to try to prove Tyler did it and let me just sit there and poke holes in the evidence. But that's what I do every day. Like I sit around and poke holes in the evidence. It's the nature of the show. Baron giving a reason to not debate.
Even this guy who's saying it right now, Rage Bronson, right? I've seen in my mentions, this guy mentioned me. And then I turned off all my, I didn't turn it off, but like, I don't see them anymore. I don't watch things about me. It's way too, I don't even like listening to my own voice. And I'm going to listen to someone talk about me and then they get to be in my house and in my mind around me and my kids. What? No, absolutely not. So I don't do that. But I know this guy. He hates a lot of us. He does not like Candace. He does not like me. He does not like Baron. He does not like Ian. He does not like the bunch of us. Okay. So he's bringing this up, right? There's a bunch of people who are trying to goat Baron into debating with this Andrew character. Now, Andrew, of course, responds very weirdly. I mean, just odd the way he responds and everything. You can tell that this is some kind of, I'll just say coordinated effort. Okay. Not an audit, an effort. Okay. So we're safe there. Simple. My debate position will be the state has provided the most rational explanation and given the best evidence to date on what happened to Charlie Kirk versus the position. I think this is so gay. You have no idea. And I don't mean rainbows and stuff. I got a picture of a rainbow right there. I got no problem with rainbows and all that alphabet stuff. I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Take it back to the 90s. This is so gay. Actually, my position's going to be, my debate position will state, the state has provided the most rational explanation and best evidence today what happened to Charlie Kirk versus the position, which will be you, my friend. You have alternatives to the state's evidence, which is more viable or gives a better explanation of the events. Straighten out your glasses and stuff. It's so, oh God. Candace says fake and gay. This is just gay. It's just weird. I just, like, whatever. If you like debates, you like them. I don't. I think it's the biggest loser stuff in the world when I watch a debate. I don't care who it is. I don't care if I like the person. I don't care. I just think it's terrible when I watch it. It's just two men who are meeting up with the expressed intention of being snarky to each other. Oh my God. Like, listen, in the 80s, baby, I used to deal with people. I grew up with some Gen Xers. It's just so weird to me when I see it. And I'm going to be as disrespectful to you as I possibly can, and we'll see if you can keep your cool. Oh my God. It's the worst. Just, don't do it, Baron. Oh, don't do it, Baron. I mean, do it if you want. Like, he'd be fine, right? He's fine. Andrew is a professional debater. This is just what he does. He just sits around. If he sees somebody say something, he goes, debate me, bro. Debate me, bro. Until that one time he was on the whatever podcast and some lady's like, well, your wife has 3 baby fathers and you espouse all these Christian values. And he's like, well, what is that? She doesn't espouse Christian values. She was doing all sorts of things. That's why she has 3 baby fathers. And Andrew got pissed and he's like, you lick schniz. That's what he said. It was real. I'm not making it up. He's like, you lick schniz. I'll find the clip. I'll find it right now. You want me to find it? Huh? Because when I say he says you lick schniz, okay, you go, he didn't say that. He's a grown man. He didn't say that. And I'm telling you, yes, he did say that. Anyway, find the clip. You think I can't find it? Find whatever these. Look, I'll go on X. Look. Okay, whatever podcast. Andrew, I forget who he was against. Wilson, three baby fathers. There it is. Done. Pull it up. I'm just saying. He got really mad. That's all. Here, let's just play it really quick. Anyway. It was interesting. I think this is it. That's the girl for sure. Calm, cool, and collected. This girl. Boy, oh.
I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe. And I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator or I don't make good points or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What does that
You're a
mean?
fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth.
I told you got mad. Huh? It's not usually how debates work out, but this is how this one worked out. Said you lick sniz. That is... It's weird that he said lick sniz, but then used all those other cuss words. Like, because sniz is the, like this girl likes girls, and the sniz is, the sniz.
Shut your stupid bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say?
Your
Dyke?
wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
dyke. Is she really inconsequential in comparison to your ditch lick?
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try
show
to...
your hatred against...
Do the women that you try
convince them
to...
that they shouldn't...
Charlie, did I bring...
Women? Do they know
Charlie,
that
did
your
I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
Did I bring any of your
You
family
called me
into
fucking
anything?
stupid.
Did I
You
say
called
anything
me
about
fucking
your
stupid.
family being stupid, Charlie?
You could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on...
I'm just saying, before I knew Barron, I was like, oh, Barron's doing an interview with this Jason Goodman guy. Oh, that should be, I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if that's the thing to do. And then it turns out it wasn't the thing to do. I'm just saying, Barron, it could go left. And this guy could all of a sudden start calling you a ditch licker. Worst way to say it in the world, It's just crazy. What does Jordan Peterson say? Listen, I don't like Jordan Peterson's views on like Israel and whatnot, and people who criticize. But he says, I think the Bible says it. Don't cast pearls to swine. Something along those words. And it just means like you don't take your well thought out, deep, long 10 hours a day arguments and bring them to this person who literally already is rolling around in the dirt and looks at whatever you bring to the table as dirt as well and mud for them to roll around in and slop up. You don't do that. You make a beautiful piece of content 5 days a week. Don't demean it to the point where you're rolling around with these guys. I'm just saying, he's a different type of man than those people. You should... You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to lose, but I'm just saying. You're putting in hard work. Just stay the course. They're tripping out. That's why they want you to get into this position. They want you to go and debate this guy because this guy only has these debate tactics. Zach Costello, it happened to Zach Costello. If I knew Zach better, me and Zach have been talking. I think I'm going to interview him on Friday. But me and Zach have been talking. I was like, there's no way he was going to just have a conversation with you. He doesn't do that. He did that for Rogan because it's Rogan. And if you really want to debate with Rogan, Rogan will just be like, Jamie, gas up the computer and verify everything I'm saying and don't show anything that he's saying. So Rogan will handle business. He's an old school debater from back in the day. Went against Crowder, went against Candace. Like he's gone against so many people. But of course he's going to bow down to Rogan. It's not going to do that for Zach. It's not going to do that for you. And then it puts into public opinion, well, I saw the thing with Andrew. Oh, Andrew owned this guy. It's just something for the people who are on the other side of things to cling to so they can say, well, listen, I saw this debate and he didn't know what to say there and he was flustered there. And I'm not saying you will be, but it's a tactic that they're pulling. And as soon as I see Bren all of a sudden start calling Barron names, this is why I said the bounty has shifted. Why is this Bren guy calling Barron names? He doesn't even know Barron. I watch this guy. I watch what this guy does. Right? He's one of those people who just says things in unison. He's like, oh, what exactly are you baiting here? Nice deflection, you slippery weasel. Since you were the one asserting like Erica and Turning Point were involved in what happened to Charlie, right? The burden of evidence is upon you after months of public slander, which hasn't even happened. But he's just throwing it out there. And he made sure to tag Barron. He made sure. And Andrew. They're trying to do this to you. This is not a regular thing that's happening. They are doing this to you purposely. Don't fall for this. What they're trying to do to you. I have no reason to say this other than I don't want to see that happen. They're trying to play a game with you. So, anyway, I know Barron watches. Go work on your opening statement. You only have 10 hours before your show starts. You start working on that opening statement. You can get it done just in time for the show. It works so hard. It's not like me. I sit down with Lance for like 90 minutes and I'm like bang, 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 bang. He doesn't do that. I'm telling you, just keep doing that. I know a lot about content creation. I know a lot about the sphere. Just keep doing that. And don't do anything else forever. And just keep on doing that. Don't fall into the debate circuit. Don't do that. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, that's the clip, Lance. That was a longer one with Barron, but you know, Barron gets the love around here. 10-hour clock started. Get to work, Barron. Get back to work, Coleman. Get back to work. Get back to work, Daisy. Get back to work. But yeah, man, just weird stuff. Don't let those weirdos pull you in. You know, somebody tried to do that to me the other day. They're like, would you debate this person? I'm like, debates are gay. Said it in all caps. They're so like, no, I'm not doing that. Well, what I think is they're writing stuff down. What did you say? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll remember that you said that. Okay. Get out of here. What are you talking about, man? Anyway. I get heated about debates. I don't like them, man. I don't like them. I think they suck. Anyways, guys. Let's jump in here. Tim Pool is completely convinced that Candace is an op. I mean, this is not like before when he was convinced that Candace is an op. Now he's completely convinced. Completely. I mean, the whole Charlie Kirk thing that happened, that was like one thing. But now that we have this, Candace Owens saying 2 sentences about Nick Shirley, now I'm positive she's an op. Anyway, let's go.
Let's pull this up and talk about it. We've got this post from Officer Lou. He says, wow, Candace Owens launches a surprising attack on citizen journalist Nick Shirley. I'll first correct that and say Nick Shirley is not a citizen journalist. He is just a regular journalist. Citizen journalist means you're out walking your dog one day and you film a car crash and then go back to walking your dog. It was used by the corporate press as a pejorative against people like Nick Shirley. In her latest episode, she dismisses his hard-hitting investigative reporting as stupid, dumb, and completely made up. This is the weirdest thing. Let me play the clip for you first and then explain. Look, I'm going to say it outright. I think Candace is an op. And I'll explain why, but first listen to this.
Happened to find myself on top of Brazil's largest favela in a destroyed house interviewing gang members of one of the largest gangs in Brazil.
Okay, I'm just going to say I don't believe that at all. I'm sorry. I just it's so stupid. I'm not even going to tell you why I don't believe it. It's like if you don't know that that's stupid, that he infiltrated the gang in 48 hours. Like, it's just, that's so dumb. I'm so tired of dumb. That's not how that works, okay? You don't just go up to gangs on the street as a nice-looking white boy with a camera and say, hey, I just wanted to sort of, like, see what you're doing here. What's going on? Okay, that's just stop. That's stupid. Of course, that's dumb. I'm sorry, Nick. I know you're young. I hope, you know, whoever is your contact that has you infiltrating Antifa and infiltrating El Salvador at the age of 23 years old, it just feels like Sean Penn young to me. Like, oh, Sean Penn's always there.
She goes on and says, he's always there and no one cares. She goes on.
That is true about Sean Penn. You have to remember, and I don't know why Tim is discounting this. I guess because it's against his argument, right? But Sean Penn was an actor, and it was weird that he could go into these places as an actor. It's weird that he could get someone arrested and they didn't connect that he would be the one helping organize the arrest. I forget which cartel member it was, but that is weird. That is an odd thing that an actor can do that. And in fact, for me, when I see an actor doing something like that, my spidey senses are always activated at that point, because actors will do whatever they're told. Very rarely do we see them do anything just because they want to do it. It's very, very rare. There's usually conversations that happen behind the scenes before they do anything, because they do want their publicists to be in the loop. They do want their agency, their talent agency to be in the loop, their manager as well. There's conversations that have to happen. They don't just go and do things. You see them just go and do a thing. This has been organized. Now, let me get back to Nick Shirley, Candace, what she's saying here. Imagine this, you know, just a little offshoot really quick. We always talk about Charlie Kirk's life being like the Truman Show, right? I've done my talk about that, you know. I've discussed the parallels between Charlie Kirk and the Truman Show, you know, the way he didn't really have any real friends, and, you know, there's a light that drops in the Truman Show, and then all of a sudden it's like his mind is like, what's going on? Something just fell from the sky like that. That same thing happened to Charlie. He started seeing certain things, started reading certain religious text, or like rabbinical type stuff, and then all of a sudden his mind starts moving, and he's like, what's going on here? And this and that. And it turns out, you know, with the Truman Show, his wife was involved in terms of being like fake. Not doing anything to him, but being fake. And then, you know, Charlie Kirk has the same type of thing when you look deeper into his family, and when you look deeper into his wife and family and inner circle. There's a lot of parallels there. I say all that to say, could this, right? This is a clip of Nick Shirley going in there. Is it impossible that Nick has told somebody, right? Told somebody, I don't know if he has a manager yet. I know he used to just do it like his mom would just come with him, or at least he said, like, I don't know if that's, you know, I think it was his mom. I'm making an assumption there. But he used to roll around with this one older lady, and I'm pretty sure it was his mom. I don't know if there's a manager involved now. I don't know who he tells. The White House has vetted this guy deeply. That's how he was in the same room as the president. Maybe it is possible that he does not realize what's happening around him. Maybe he goes, maybe someone says, I suggest you go to this place and check it out. Vice used to do that. There's many people who have done that, and you can go look into that. And that'd be a really cool story for you to cover. And he goes, okay. And he goes over there, and they say you should go to this spot. And for all he knows, they have everything set up. That is a very real possibility, because what happens is he meets a guy, he meets another guy, and then he sits down with a guy and he talks with that guy, and they say, this is everything that's going on. I'm not talking about like a set being made up, but you actually go there. You actually think you're interacting with someone that you're not actually interacting with. Is that possible? If I wanted to be very charitable to Nick Shirley, I think that's very possible. A lot of people say they are positioning him to be like the next Charlie Kirk. It's not going to be that Braylon kid. It's going to be somebody who's actually had the left attack him, who's actually been in these types of situations. He's going to have a big rap sheet that he's going to be able, a big resume that he's going to be able to point to and say, look at all the stuff I've done here, right? They're saying they're trying to position him as the next Charlie Kirk. This is how they would do it, right? If Charlie Kirk was in the Truman Show, why would they let the next Charlie Kirk not be in the Truman Show? You understand? I don't know. That's just like my own brain going off there, but yeah, it's very interesting. I see what Candace is saying here.
On this attack, implying that Nick Shirley is faking his videos. Now, here's the thing. This reporting from Brazil is around 8 months old. She went back and found a segment that Nick Shirley did unrelated to U.S. politics, I believe intentionally to discredit Nick Shirley. And now I'm seeing a bunch of tweets responding saying Nick Shirley's a liar.
Wow.
They're saying Candace is right. There's no way. Why would she do this? That's an honest question. Nick Shirley is currently working on Medicaid fraud stories in California, and they're massive. Who's opposing it? The Democrats. Gavin Newsom's making fun of him. Now Candace Owens is digging up old stories, not even big stories, from 8 months ago. It had 64,000 views, to insinuate Nick Shirley is fabricating or a plant. Let me just say real quick, I have covered the favelas in Brazil 3 times, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I interviewed the gang members. I walked up as a little nice white boy to the gang members and said, can we interview you? The real story is, my producer and I went to a favela. We had a fixer. This is a local who speaks Portuguese. We went to a restaurant and got food. We asked the one who worked there, hey, we're journalists from America. We work for Vice. We wanted to interview some of the gangs about what's going on. And she said, give me a second. She comes back. She gives information to our fixer and says, meet this guy later today. He'll be up, at this area. We wait till it gets dark. We go to meet him. It's like 8 o'clock or whatever. And there's a guy sitting in a plastic chair. We walk up. Everybody shakes his hand. It's a gang member, one of the gang leaders. It's a regular guy just sitting in a chair. And our Brazilian friend speaks Portuguese. And the guy says, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And they go, oh, okay. And then we say, what happened? He goes, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're going to come here and we're going to meet a young gang member. He's going to put on a mask and we're going to interview him. And he's going to tell us everything that's going on. It was that simple.
I believe it. I spent many years in.
I believe it. See, now this is kind of to my point. I didn't even realize he was going to say all this. This is kind of to my point. When Tim goes through that whole thing, how does he know? We go, I have a fixer, I have a producer. So you already have people who are like with you. Not saying that like they're devious around him or anything like that, but you're already working for Vice. We all know what Vice turned out to be. So you're already working for Vice. You go over to this place. Vice knows that you're over there because they have to know that you're over there. So now all of a sudden you're at a restaurant. You sit down, you say, we would like to talk to gang members, please. And they say 1 second. And then you go to a place, there's a guy sitting in a chair. He's a gang leader. How would you know he's a gang leader? Because he said that? Was he wearing a mask? Then he says you're going to talk to a young gang member. No problem. And they're going to be wearing a mask. How do you know that you talk to any gang members? How do you actually know? If he had went to, and honestly, I don't know how you verify any of this. You'd have to know. It would have to be like El Chapo level. And you're like, okay, I know this is El Chapo. I'm seeing him right now. I'm looking him in the face. But how does he know he actually met with anybody that was real? How does he know that whole situation wasn't Fugazi? And that's why I say, how does Nick actually know? Like, it is possible to do that to people. It could have been me sitting there. Hey, my friend. Hey, how you do? Lo siento. I just, so you see, nunca negro, you see? I know Black Papi. I the leader of the gang. You meet with one of my guys. He wear a mask. Yeah, he know Black Papi. You sit down with him. You talk with him, and then he go back to the bajo. You understand? My friend? Could have just been me. Put me in a wife beater. Some glasses on. Some of those Brazilian shorts that these guys wear. I'm the gang leader, man. How you do? Guy in Brazil has a Mexican accent for some reason. How you doing? Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? You good? Don't even worry about it, man. This is me. I the gang leader. Yeah. Jorge, mucho gusto. Some people portugués, some people español. Hey, don't worry about that. You have no idea who you're talking to when all that happens. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Yeah. So this is the stuff that's making him believe that Candace is an op, because she's questioning Nick Shirley. And it's interesting that Nick Shirley's not allowed to be questioned. I find that a very interesting thing as well, right? Barron is not allowed to question Andrew Colvett and a flight itinerary manifest. Barron will tell you the difference in his podcast. Believe it or not, I didn't play the whole podcast. I think there's like another 3 hours of the podcast. He explains a lot more. I was just going through the fun stuff that I liked. So you can't question Erica. You can't question Fort Huachuca. You can't question Egyptian planes, right? You can't question so many things. And then on top of that, you can't question Nick Shirley. It's weird. He is a citizen journalist. I know Tim's like, he's a regular journalist. Regular journalist works for the New York Times and peddles a bunch of crap. That's what a regular journalist does. He's actually a citizen journalist because he started rolling around with his mom. Like he was just walking around with his mom in New York and in this place and in Philadelphia and in, you know what I mean? Like he's literally a citizen journalist. So, and that's not a bad thing, you know, just like being a podcaster is not a bad thing. They've moved up in the world, if you can't tell. But let's play a little bit more of this.
In media, you could do that like anywhere.
It's what you do.
It's literally what you do. Candace knows. She always knows. By the way, Nick Shirley's part 1 out of California. I know the woman, Amy Reichard. Okay, she's out of San Diego, and she's been doing this research. By the way, Nick Shirley goes and he actually follows these people who've been doing this research. This is why you probably don't call him a citizen journalist. Yeah, exactly. So I can confirm that what he is reporting is exact a fact because Amy has been reporting this in California.
I have to stress this point on citizen journalism and why it's important to me. In the early 2010s, with the ubiquity of cell phones emerging, we started to get a bunch of videos from regular people who would film a news event and then never film another news event again. A guy would be working at a hot dog shop. Mm-hmm. He'd be filming outside a fight breaking out, and then a shooting happens, and then he posts it online, and a local news outlet says, can we have this footage? That is citizen journalism. It's when otherwise non-journalists capture a newsworthy event, and it's not their intention. I started filming Occupy Wall Street, as well as many others, and the media insulted us by saying, this is not real journalism, this is citizen journalism, with the intent of saying we are random people who accidentally caught newsworthy information.
You're nobodies. Yep.
So even though I had been working at this for a year, I was being invited around places, they would still go, there was an event where I was not allowed on the main stage, and they were smack talking me from, I was speaking on a side stage about the future of media, and prominent journalists were on stage insulting me directly, saying this is not real journalism. He's not a journalist. He's not producing journalism. He was a guy who was standing somewhere and filmed a thing. And now you guys are calling it journalism. And I said, these people are scumbags.
Yeah, you are.
Everybody who he disagrees with is a scumbag. I like how he stays consistent with that, at least. So, I mean, what he's saying is, you know, that's the birth of citizen journalism, is that you have a phone, you film a thing. Some people never do it again. Some people actually jump in and decide, I'm going to do this every single weekend. I'm going to go everywhere I can and do this. It was the birth of citizen journalism. And it's fine to be a citizen journalist. Just like it's fine to be a YouTuber. Some guys who do this thing, if you call them a YouTuber, they're like, oh, I don't know if I call myself a YouTuber. I'm actually, it's actually a little different. You know, I'm not doing like Mr. Beast stuff. And it's like, yeah, I know, but don't worry. Mr. Beast is a billionaire. Of course you're not doing Mr. Beast stuff. You're a YouTuber. It's okay. I'm a YouTuber. It's fine. Joe Rogan's a YouTuber. It's completely fine. It's not a bad thing at all. It's actually it's a quite good thing. It's quite life-changing, in fact, you know. But I don't want to play too much Tim. I don't like his energy. His energy's too hooked up on something. I don't know what he's doing there. So let's move on to Wolves. Wolves, Zach, the man Zach. Now, I will just comment on this quickly. I think what he did here was really, really interesting. The fact that he took what was happening with the Tyler Robinson case and connected it to the whole Oklahoma incident, I'll call it that. The fact that he is pretty much putting these parallels between Garland and Cash Patel. The fact that Garland didn't really want to take any evidence unless it was subpoenaed, and there were people trying to hand him real evidence that could possibly exonerate the person that they had. I found that very interesting. The fact that Cash Patel is doing something similar, you know, not quite that, but there are many things that it's surprising that the defense hasn't taken to, that they haven't contacted Barron, that they haven't contacted Candace, that they haven't decided, hey, let's just take this whole well of information these people have came to, and let's just build a case. Because that's what they're there for. Let's be honest, right? Few attorneys are working for truth and justice and liberty and all that fun stuff. You know what I mean? They're working for money and they're working to win. So it's like, why wouldn't the defense just be like, yeah, give it to us? What do you got? What do you got, Baron? What do you think about this whole thing? What can we go with? Because all they have to do is just put a little shred of doubt into somebody on the jury. That's all they have to do. So why haven't they done that? Why haven't they done that with Candace? Why haven't they done that with Baron? I guess there's some jurors who will be there that will probably hate Candace. There's probably some that will actually like Candace. There's probably some that probably never heard of her before, right? And they can do that through the whole process of selecting the jury. They can be like, do you know who Candace Owens is? The person will say no. It's like, okay, put him in. You know, like they could just do that. There's a whole bunch of things that happen there. So I just found it very interesting that he found those similarities between the two. And then he was talking about how, you know, Garland didn't actually want the case solved in an organic way. He just wanted to go with this guy. And the fact that most people sit on death row for 18 years, that guy from the Oklahoma incident was there for, I think he said 3.5 years. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then what's going to happen with Tyler Robinson if he's found guilty, right? Is he going to sit there for 3.5 years? It seems like, by the way people are talking, especially on the Turning Point side of things, it seems like he gets found guilty and they're just like, okay, send him out ASAP, get rid of him. That's what it seems like they're kind of pushing for. So I don't know. It does seem like Robinson's a patsy, but also there's parts of it, you know, there are parts where you go, well, who else did it? And that's been the question. That's been the question the whole time. That's the question that Baron, Candace, so many of us are trying to figure out. Who else could it be? And there's, in my opinion, there's many other very viable options of who could have done this, right? Then also Wolves shows the footage of him running off the roof. And he questions, like we all have questioned from the very beginning, why does it start there? And where's the rest of that footage? Why don't we see him get up and wrap that thing into a towel, or maybe lay down, wrap it into a towel, jump up and run? Why don't we see that whole video? Why don't they show us that whole thing? Why would they withhold that? Would it be smart to withhold that as the prosecution till you get to the point of the trial so people can't dispel it at all? And it hits the media and the trial like this brand new piece that kind of like solidifies it. And then also what's Tyler going to say? We haven't been able to hear from Tyler. So the whole thing's very weird. There's 9,000 people in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. I know black. Nunca, nunca. No black. Nunca, nunca. No black. Nunca, nunca. I know black, papi. And there's no shadow on the roof when the person is running. Yes, that is 100% true. There's no shadow. It all looks very weird. But again, the question is, show us the whole clip. Don't just show us the part where he runs a little bit and then jumps. People are just questioning it so much. But I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see what's going on here, right? I mean, I just thought the video that he put together comparing the two incidents, I found that to be like very masterful. He's doing really well. He did say he's having a little issue. Yeah, Tyler Boyer's also a part. Well, you know what? Someone said he's a part of that church, the Utah church mafia of sorts. And also, Tyler's kind of a part of it too. Robinson. He's kind of a part of it as well. I mean, the whole thing's very weird. It's always going to be very, very, very weird. But I just thought he did a great job. He said he's having some trouble on the platform with his videos. I'm going to message Zach about that. I don't have him on X, I don't think. Maybe I do, but I'm going to message him about that because I know what the problem is and I know how he can fix it. So we'll see. We'll see. We might have Zach saying things like Philadelphia and incident in the next few videos he does. Potentially, if he cares to listen. But it was a great video. It was a great video. But I do have to admit what he was saying is true because my brother lets me know when he drops a video. I never get told when he's dropping a video. It's always my brother who sends me the link to the video. So he just says the wolf brother. That's all he says. The wolf brother. With a bunch of wolf icons. He always sends it to me. So that's how I find out about it. Now, let me just pull up some Cash Patel stuff right here. I find this story just enchanting. What an enchanting story we have with Cash Patel. Let's keep going. That's the clip, Lance. I mean, we're talking about wolves. That's the clip. We're done there. And then when it comes to the Tim Pool clip, that's the clip. Like, that's just a clip right there. We don't want Tim Pool in the mix with Barron. Yeah, we don't mix Tim Pool and Barron. That's we don't do that. We don't insult Barron like that. Okay, we hold Barron high. We don't put him in line with all that. So let's see here if we can see. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. What happened with Cash Patel is crazy. So he gets his account hacked. First of all, how? How do you get your account hacked as the director of the Bureau? Doesn't someone come to you and say, hey, man, hey, you're the new guy? Great, you just got confirmed, right? Good to meet you. How you doing? My name's Agent Wachuka. So, anyway, we're going to change all your passwords immediately. So, this machine prints up random passwords. I'm not going to look at it. That's your new password. Put it in immediately, and don't show it to anyone. In fact, burn that card afterwards, okay? Write it down somewhere safe in your own writing, and that's it. And here's another password, and another password, and another password, because you're in the Bureau now. You don't get to keep anything, even your personal stuff. Everything has to be scrambled, obviously. In fact, here's a keychain that just produces random things all the time. You're going to keep that with you too. How do they not do that? It's very weird. Like, am I tripping out? I mean, I would be extra careful if I was in the Bureau. Extra careful. You know what I mean? I'm one of these deep state guys. I'm the new director. Yeah. Whatever, pal. I've been here for 50 years, okay? You wouldn't believe who the real president is. Listen, we're changing your passwords. Where's your laptop? Crack it open. I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, sir, here's all your new passwords. We hacked your computer and we changed every password that you have. Here's a list of them. Get to know them. That document's going to self-destruct, okay? Nice to meet you. Name's Agent Wachuka. Bye-bye. That's it. And listen, something's going to happen on September 10th. Just letting you know, something's going to happen, all right? I'm letting you know. It's pretty big, okay? Remember, we talked about this. Bye-bye. And that'd be it. And then I go underground wherever all the deep state guys go. Yeah? I'm out of here. I don't know how his account got hacked. Let's check it out, though. His account gets hacked, and he has something. It's called, like, it's an adult type of thing that he has going, you know? On a login and a password. He's one of those guys. You know, most people just kind of, they peruse, as Officer Tatum would say, they peruse that type of stuff. Well, not Cash. Cash has a login and everything. He wants them to remember his details. That way he can do whatever he's doing. And apparently this adult thing was logged in during the flights. Okay? During the flights while he was on the Bureau's plane, the plane that he has to fly. If people don't really know, he can't fly economy. If you hear about him on a jet, a private jet, he has to fly on a private jet. It's kind of like, it's a pretty sweet rule that they have. He can't just go fly on a regular flight. He can't do all that. So he has to be in a jet. And apparently when he's in this jet, he's looking at things that are crazy, we'll just say. So that's the type of stuff he's doing. They found his eBay. So apparently his eBay, his name is Spider Cash. That's what he calls himself. Cash with a K. Bro, make it Cash with a C. Throw them off the scent a little bit, man. What are you thinking? Are you nuts? I mean, just bold and brazen. They're talking about the YouTube. I'm not even going to show the Google one, but they got into his Google apparently. They got into his eBay. They got into the e-commerce, entertainment, others. They see his ESPN. He uses Snapchat, apparently. Like, they have found out everything that this guy does. He has an app called MindBody that he uses. Don't know what that is. And his name is just Cash Patel. Gender is listed as female. Those hackers must have changed that before they showed it to us. There's no way that's what he has going on. Come on. Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And then the whole adult thing. So very, very weird what's going on with Cash Patel. Also, we did some OSENT on the leaked email address, Cash Patel. He goes by Spider Cash and Patel Keep, KPP, and found some interesting things. A thread. We found Cash Patel identified himself as a female. Yeah, so I already showed you that. I just want to make sure I'm not showing anything crazy here. Sorry, guys. And then the last thing is just all the pictures that I showed you. You know, this is Midas Touch. Candace actually reposted it. I didn't see that. Candace reposted it. That's very funny. Candace is probably going to talk about that today as well. This is just all the pictures, the group released photos and documents after claiming it breached the Bureau, warning its security was nothing more than a joke. I mean, yeah, when you're a hacker, I'm sure you can say that. Yeah. But yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild that they leaked all this stuff. So that's what happened to Cash Patel. A little bit embarrassing, but I think more so, if this is completely true and this happened, I think what they're doing more so is giving him a little bit of a nudge, like, hey, we actually have a bunch. Like, we were in your email and you know what's in your email and we've seen everything in your email. We're only going to show the public this, but we have a bunch of stuff that you have left inside your email. That could be the thing that they're doing there, throwing a little bit of a warning their way. Little breaking here. Whitney Webb and Candace Owens talking to each other. I'll show you guys that in a second. But that could be what they're doing. They're trying to give Cash a little bit of a warning, like, hey, buddy, just so you know, we saw everything. Who knows what there is to see? Who knows how deep the whole thing goes? But that's it, you know. I don't even think we'll make that a clip, Lance. I don't know. Cash Patel. I don't even know if he's worth it. You guys want to see the Candace Owens stuff? Let me show you the Candace Owens stuff real quick because I just bookmarked it. Whitney Webb and her speaking a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, Whitney Webb with the essays. Oh, she loves a good essay. Let me just see here. I got a lot of S for saying why I don't trust Joe Kent and his trajectory. Why I obviously I was put on the spot about it and could have been more accurate. I think the points I brought up are reasonable. Now, if you don't know what this is about, Whitney Webb actually spoke about Joe Kent, I believe while she was sitting down with Jimmy Dore, and she broke down why she didn't trust Joe Kent. Jimmy Dore made a video about it. I think the thumbnail just says, I don't trust the guy. Pretty sure that's the video. I haven't got a chance to watch it myself, but Whitney's breaking it down here. I guess she feels like she could have been a little bit more accurate with what she was saying. Probably a little nervous. She seems like a little camera shy when she does interviews. It seems like it's not like she's more of a writer. She's not like someone who sits in front of the computer and like entertains people. She just comes with like cold hard facts that she finds. The current administration defines as indicative of domestic terrorism, and that spook was previously also funded by Peter Thiel and the co-founder and chairman of an intelligence contractor working to establish domestic terror pre-crime in the U.S. I think it's fair to be skeptical of him. This is what she's saying about Joe Kent. This is how Whitney feels about Joe Kent. Let's keep on going here. Trump previously considered making a pre-crime program using AI to flag the social media. Oh, this is going to touch into what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this new council that's been established by the president, and the people on this council. Oh, gosh, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. This is literally, this council, I would describe it as you are now being introduced to who runs the world, who runs the free world right now. And it's not good people. Okay. It's not Tulsi and, all sorts of people you might like. Pre-crime program to flag social media accounts of Americans who display warning signs of violence or mental illness. Its main advocate was Jared Kushner. There have been many recent media efforts to equate criticism of Philadelphia to being anti-Philadelphia, and being anti-Philadelphia to mental illness. That has been something that's been done. I've noticed that Glenn Beck has been trying to make that connection. When he talked to Erica Kirk, he was calling anybody who questioned Turning Point or Erica to have some kind of illness. Like, he's like, that's what I think this is. This is an illness. And she was like, yeah, it's an illness. Pretty crazy. I've seen Josh Hammer try to equate the same thing. Ben Shapiro, of course, Ben Shapipi, as he's fondly known on the show, he's trying to equate the same thing as well. Let's keep going here. Now, I'm literally looking for words that can't be said. The same apparatus expanded its infrastructure. Let me just go right to the bottom. I took a lot of S in the past for my stances on certain things, and the president being a neocon, and the JE Intel ties, et cetera, way before it was popular to do so. That's true. She's been on this train for a long time, literally like 5, maybe 6, 7 years before any type of documents were released. Turned out to be correct. I'm not here to be popular or tell anybody what they want to hear. I have been early on a lot of stories, and other people now take credit for that fact. Now, that's a hard thing to, once it becomes popular, it's hard to say like, oh, I'm the one that came up with this. It's really hard, but I get where she's coming from. I don't care if you like me, and I don't care about getting credit. I care that some of you wake the F up and stop swallowing every single psyop they throw at you. She's quite a badass, I have to say. Whitney Webb, she's pretty solid, And then Candace says back to her, I cannot source this claim that Joe Kent was funded by Peter Thiel outside of the 5,800 Senate-run contribution. Can you explain further? I was under the impression he gave millions to super PACs for Blake Masters and JD Vance, but what is the Joe Kent connection you're referring to? So Candace is delving a little bit into that. Whitney has not replied as of yet. I would love to see a Candace Owens and Whitney Webb episode. I think that would be crazy. I think if those two sat down, it would be wild. Very, very wild. I would love to see that. I don't know about you guys, but I think that would be really, really cool to see. Let's keep going here. Now, do I know that Whitney is saying everything correct? She's very skeptical of Joe Kent. She says that there's a Peter Thiel connection to Joe Kent. I would love to know about that. Joe Kent has worked for the agency. He was a part of a classified detail. I don't know exactly what they were doing, classified, but she's right. There is a connection there. So Joe Kent being linked to the agency, Peter Thiel being linked to the agency, there could be something there. So I don't throw away things that Whitney Webb says. That's all I'll say. I don't throw away the things she says, because she's right. She's early on so many things. She's early on. So this could be one of them, 100%. Anyways, let's keep going here. The Un-F America tour has been slighted by Turning Point. Now, am I sitting here saying, wow, justice for the Un-F America tour? Not really, because they used to slight Charlie Kirk every chance they could possibly get. The whole reason that Hunter Kozak was even at the UVU event is because he was doing it on the behalf of the Un-F America tour. If you don't know, if you haven't been a long time watcher of the show, we covered this a while ago. The Un-F America tour is something that this girl here runs. Her name is Z. Cohen Sanchez. What a mix of names that is. Her name is Z. Cohen Sanchez, and she runs something called the Un-F America Tour. The F stands for the F word. So what they have been doing is countering Turning Point at every event. So Charlie goes to UVU, they go to UVU. They can't set up signage exactly where Charlie is. but they'll set up signage nearby where other Turning Point volunteers are, and they'll try to make debates happen. They will try to send their people to ask Charlie Kirk questions and combat him a little bit. It's ran by this lady. I believe she's the founder. And then the person underneath her is streamer Destiny. I don't know if you guys know Destiny. Destiny is a very super like far left commentator. I'm pretty sure he does live streams. He's a very interesting guy. He's like one of those professional debater guys. Very, very odd couple on this whole thing, but I will play what she has to say because she reveals something that Turning Point did recently.
Worried, and they should be. If this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Z. I'm a political operative, and I run the largest counter organization to Turning Point USA on the left national game. You might have heard about us through the America tour, which is our college campus tour, but it is very important that you hit the follow button if you haven't already, because on my page in the next couple weeks there will be groundbreaking news coming out that I've been researching on Turning Point USA, and I need you to know about that. Okay, to catch you up if you have not been following me already, on Monday our college campus tour, the Unfuck America tour, was supposed to be going to ASU. It was going to be our second tour stop for our spring tour. However, that did not happen because on Thursday night Erica Kirk went into the ASU college chapter meeting, which she turned up to unannounced, and was complaining about our tour coming to campus, saying that they were upset that they couldn't counter us. And literally that same day, we got an email from the school administration canceling our event. Unfortunately for ASU, we will be moving forward with litigation because we believe that free speech should be for everybody, including Turning Point USA. Because our tickets and all of our accommodations were already booked and we couldn't get refunds, we decided that we were going to show up anyway. And what happened next was kind of unbelievable. But we decided to go to the Turning Point headquarters just to ask them a simple question. Why would they want to have our event canceled? And why did all of a sudden they say that they were going to have an event on the same day that was not advertised on their website, claiming that their permit also got canceled? We were fully expecting to get kicked out, but instead, who came out of the gates but Jack Posobiec and Andrew Colvett? Watch this clip right here.
So
they
right
were
now,
literally
dude,
in the middle of live streaming when this happened.
So they're outside right now. You mean outside at ASU? No, outside Turning Point. Wait, they're outside. They're here. Yes, right outside the gates. They're right outside the gates. Yes. How many are there? How many are there? Russ, get your camera. It's two trucks.
And then for the next hour and a half, we debated with Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, and Jack Posobiec outside of the Turning Point headquarters. Some really interesting things in this hour and a half debate about the Groyper movement, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and a lot more about their midterm strategy. But again, that's not all. I'm going to be posting clips of that over the next couple days on my page, so remember again to follow me to Unfuck America. Turning Point.
So that is going to be unfolding as the days go on. She's going to be showing us clips. I will check now if she actually did show any other clips. I know there's one clip that I'm going to show you guys now, but apparently there was a whole sit down with, well, not really a sit down, but, you know, Jack Posobiec there having a little argument with them, Andrew Colvett there having an argument with them. So this is the whole thing going on. This is one of the clips that they showed here. Where they're like getting like, I don't know what this is like actually supposed to be. Seems just like kind of immature, but also very immature of Turning Point to get their stuff canceled because Turning Point couldn't counter it. Now, before I show you this clip, when I talk about that, there is a video of Erica Kirk sitting at a desk and there's somebody filming. You know, when she talks about not reading Charlie Kirk's book, and she talks about, I don't know how Charlie would feel about the war. Well, within those two clips, there's a part where she says, I'm kind of upset that we don't get to counter that. And what she's talking about is the UNF America tour. She's saying, I'm sad that they get to be there and we don't get to set up as well and counter that whole thing. So they actually appealed to ASU, of course, and said, hey, like, get these guys out of here. If we can't counter it, don't have them there. They went behind the scenes and did that type of thing. Now, I don't really support UNF America. I don't support what they're doing. But at the same time, for them to do that kind of like snakish backhanded thing is kind of on par for what Turning Point has become. And it's sad to see. Should have just let them do their thing. Nobody would even know about it. That girl wouldn't be able to make that video that she just made. There'd be no talking about it, nothing. But instead, we have this whole thing that happened. I mean, what a stance by this guy, huh? What is this? What's going on here? What's going on here? You okay? You okay? What is this? What are your hips doing, huh? What are your legs doing? What are your ankles doing? What are your hips doing? What's going on? Why are your pants so tight? Come on.
We have a parting gift for you.
Hey, carry the flame. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry on the flame. Well, with all due respect, no, you don't. But you carry on your own flame. This is sacrilege.
No, should I set it to hyperflame? Why write "We are Charlie Kirk" when it's your guys' thing?
So you respect Charlie?
Yeah, we did respect Charlie, absolutely.
Okay. Well, maybe you can find new ways to express that in the future.
High school. Oh my God. We have a parting gift for you.
Hey, carry the flame. We are Charlie.
Now, what's very sad about this is they have their own branding on this. It's not a turning point lighter. It's not a real gift. They're kind of showing like we are Charlie Kirk now. And what's really sad is that they're kind of right. As much as I don't like Destiny, I don't like the things he said where he wishes that conservatives would, experience what they experienced at Butler. He has no sympathy for people who die at political protests and stuff like that. He's said a lot of wild things. As much as I don't like that, and I'm not really feeling that whole organization, they're kind of right. They are doing what Charlie Kirk would do. They are actually grassroots running around a lot more than what Turning Point is today. Turning Point today, you guys have all seen it. They are just the extension of the GOP. They're an extension of the admin. That's what it seems like as we go through the go-throughs, hearing about them every day. And the UNF America Tour is actually doing what Charlie did, getting real grassroots about it, having these conversations, not getting events canceled. As much as they would follow Charlie around annoyingly, right? And also kind of, a little weird. The last person he talks to is one of them. And there's some weirdness around them. Jesse's covered it. I've covered it a bunch. I don't know if Barron's covered it, but you can see some great break between me and Jesse. You can see a full breakdown of all the weirdness surrounding the UNF America Tour and what happened to Charlie. There's some weirdness around it. Yeah, it's just, it's sad that they are the ones doing what Charlie was doing. They're not, like, they used to follow Charlie around, but they wouldn't get him canceled. They weren't that type of group. They weren't like protesting him and being like, stop Turning Point. They weren't doing that. They were just like, we have better arguments. And why don't you sit down with us and debate us? And they would get in line and they would do the whole thing. So they are doing what Charlie Kirk was doing. Blake is not. Andrew's not. Jack is not. They are not doing what Charlie was doing. They're doing something else. Erica is not. Don't know if that needed to be said, but so we're going to see some weirdness in the next few days as she posts videos of this back and forth that they have had. I don't know if they're on YouTube. I should probably check if they're on YouTube just to see what they got going on here. Because they might have posted a clip on YouTube. I'm now following that Z Sanchez Cohen Sanchez Z, whatever her name is. But let's just see you actually have to write it. Like terrible name if you're going to like try and be on YouTube. Terrible name. Right? It's there. But yeah, no, there's no clip as of yet. It's just them trying to counter. Yeah, it's just them trying to counter. Anyway, so that's the clip, Lance. That's it. That's what we got there. So now moving on. Project Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. Project Constitution. Friend of the show sometimes. Sometimes he's trying to go at me. Sometimes friend of the show. Apparently, he has received a second cease and desist letter from Turning Point demanding that he stop investigating them. My answer is no. Now, I'm pretty sure that what their cease and desist letter is going to say is not stop investigating us. I think he's taken a little bit of liberties there. More than likely, if you needed any more proof that we are hitting the nerve, etc., etc., he's already said that he's not going to stop. He's already put out his response. We can see what they said once again. South Bank Legal, via electric mail, Project Constitution. Colin Campbell. That's a beautiful name. That's a really good name. You spell your name with 2 L's. That's kind of unacceptable, but you know, I'll give you a pass. It's a wonderful name you got there. Second, demand to cease and desist defamatory comments. Mr. Campbell, I write to acknowledge your response on the 19th and the 21st, following my initial on March 18th. Cease and desist on behalf of Erica Kirk. Turning Point, I understand your correspondence. You were not represented by counsel. If that's a mistake, please forward to your attorney. To start my cease and desist letter. Let's see here. Start my cease and desist letter. Identify 10 representations of defamatory content statements that you made to my client March 19th. You only admit that one of the statements is defamatory. The March 13 post concerning the DOJ wiretap audio. The remaining statements you claim constitute protected opinion, editorial theories, and fair comment on matters of immense public concern. You are wrong. All 10 statements constitute legally actionable defamation, and refusal to retract them is further evidence of your actual malice. Jesse was so right. All he had to do was delete that thing. If he deleted that right away, none of this would be happening. None of it. But now it's at like 12 million views. I mean, it's hard to get rid of something got you 12 million views. It's so hard. So 2 is your decision to double down by posting new defamatory statements about my client. For example, March 23rd, you published extended posts alleging purported Turning Point cover-up and asking whether the father-in-law of the Turning Point contractor built the device that off Charlie Kirk. Your content is also causing my client ongoing damages, which they will be entitled to recover in litigation. Your duty to preserve evidence is no excuse for continuing to publish defamatory statements. X allows users to download account archives before posts are removed from public view. Tutorials can be easily found online. You can also preserve the post before removing them from public view by means of taking screenshots. This is very interesting because they were saying not to delete anything, serves public. Now they're telling him how he can delete things. I find that a little weird. You could archive things. There is a matter of making money from these posts. And if you archive them, maybe you still make it. Like right now, if I make a certain amount of money from a YouTube video and I put it as unlisted, I still make that money and all that content is still there. If I put it private, same thing. If I delete it, it's gone and it actually damages my channel quite a bit. And I guess the same thing happens when you archive. Maybe he can still make the money he made from the 12 million. I don't know. I don't know what's in his head when it comes to that kind of thing. I find it interesting that they're trying to do this whole thing. Now, he says, my clients have not agreed to respond to and do not intend to respond to open-ended requests for information. So that whole discovery thing is kind of out the window. They're saying, no, we're not going to answer anything that you have to say or anything you have to ask. Rather, you have a duty to share specific claims about my client that you intend to publish so that we have an opportunity to correct falsehoods. Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the exact same thing? So it's like, hey, I'm going to make this story about XYZ. I need you to say whether or not this is true. Is it true? If you don't respond, I'm moving forward with it. That kind of thing. Interesting. So they're trying to put a leash on this guy pretty much. Concerning what to appear your specific claims, Erica Kirk was not at or near Fort Huachuca on September 8th or 9th. Neither is Miss Kirk nor Andrew was in Utah on the 10th until after Charlie Kirk passed away. Now, that's going to be something very interesting because that's the same thing that Barron is trying to run down. If Andrew was there beforehand, Barron seems like he's very close. I don't know what Candace is going to talk about today, but it does seem like Barron is kind of close to that whole thing. Now, whether or not it's going to be, whether or not we know, or if he's going to know, we have no idea what Barron's going to come up with. We have no idea what Candace is going to come up with. But Project Constitution kind of has a little bit of a silver lining, a little bit of a solid possibility if it turns out that Barron can prove that Andrew was there before Charlie passed away, or that he was at least on the way before Charlie even got hit. That would be saying something quite a bit. So then that would be one statement that Project Constitution doesn't have to worry about. I don't want to go through his whole response. This is so small. I'm gonna need reading glasses soon, guys. I'm hitting that age. I'm gonna need the reading glasses. My receipt to second. First, I must correct your blatant mischaracterization of my previous correspondence. At no point did I admit anything. Second, let me be absolutely clear. I will not be bullied or intimidated into silence by threats of lawfare. My work as an independent investigative journalist focuses on matters of immense public interest, specifically the passing of a major political figure such as Charlie Kirk, and the vetting, leadership, and operational integrity of Turning Point USA. My sole intent is to report the truth. If accurate reporting and protected editorial analysts regarding these events reflect poorly on your clients, that is a consequence of their own actions and circumstances, not a legal liability on my part. I am always open to correcting the record if presented with verifiable facts, as I have already proven, but I will not bow to legal intimidation designed to suppress protected First Amendment speech. Finally, I note your statement that I have a duty to share specific claims about my clients, about your clients, that I intend to publish so that we have the opportunity to correct falsehoods. I'm happy to oblige. I'm preparing to publish a report of the following. On September 10th, Erica was not with her mother. At the time Charlie Kirk passed away, Erica was at or near the Scottsdale airport. Andrew Colvett flew to Scottsdale on a private aircraft that departed less than 30 minutes after Charlie was injured. So this is the same stuff that Barron's trying to run down. So now they have to answer. Barron was saying, hey, give me a call. Now these lawyers are actually saying, well, if you ask us something, Project Constitution, we'll answer. We'll correct things. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. I do like that he's not willing to back down. I do like that. Say what you want about the guy. I've said what I wanted to say about the guy, but I do like that he's not willing to back down. Good for you, man. Keep pushing forward, but keep your nose clean as well. You know what I mean? Like, be careful. Be a little bit careful out there. Someone said Erica and Andrew are cooked. Yeah, it seems like it, man. It seems like it. It definitely seems like it. Anyway, let's keep going here. We got Ben Shapiro, ladies and gentlemen. That's the clip, Lance. We got Ben Shapiro here, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Shapiro, I just want to play this. Let me make sure I heard what I thought I heard properly.
This would be her continued complete moral betrayal.
This is about Megyn Kelly, by the way.
This would be her continued complete moral betrayal of Erica Kirk to kiss Candace Owens' ass, even as she cosplays as the brave woman standing up against censors who don't exist. She says she'll die before she bends the knee to those who criticize Candace Owens, which is why, for example,
I did hear it right. Perfect. I did hear that right. Listen to that again.
Who don't exist. She says she'll die before she bends the knee to those who criticize Candace Owens.
She said she would die before she bent the knee to Israel. What's Ben saying there? That's interesting.
She says she'll die before she bends the knee to those who criticize Candace Owens.
What is Ben letting out of the bag there? That's interesting. That's very interesting. So Ben's saying the people who are attacking Candace Owens are the people that Megyn said she wouldn't bend the knee to? That's weird. That seems like a thing he's not supposed to say. I think he's going to get a call from Mr. Wachuka. BB and Mr. Wachuka are going to be like on a conference call. Hi, it's Mr. Wachuka here. Is this Ben Shapiro? Ben's going to be like on. Ben's going to be like down here. He's going to like climb up on a desk. He's like, doing a pull up, get on the desk. He runs up to the intercom. The intercom's like just as big as he is. Hello, Mr. Wachuka. Hello. Benjamin, I am here as well. Yeah, Ken, yalla. I'm here as well. Oh, BB, oh, I love you so much, BB. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Yeah, Ben, we're just going to go over what you said. You kind of said something you weren't supposed to say there. Kind of said Megyn Kelly wouldn't bend the knee to the people who are criticizing Candace Owens. Megyn Kelly said that she wouldn't bend the knee to Israel. So you kind of let something out of the bag there. You slipped a little bit. You said you'd be on your best behavior after we got you those eyebrow transplants to make you look taller. I know. And then it's working. It's working fabulously. And the eyebrows are just like up to here, you know. Benjamin, yes. Again, Benjamin, this is too much. You have messed up. You cannot have your silver. You do not get your silver. Okay. You do not get your silver. You do not get the what is it? How do you guys say? 7,000. You do not get your 7,000 for this. No. Low. Oh, BB, come on. Abba, no. You guys don't even know that. You don't even know what language I'm speaking there. Your boy knows some things. Anyway. What can you do? You lose out sometimes. That's what happens, Ben Shapiro. Yeah, that's the clip, Lance. Let's move on from Ben Shapiro. I just find that, I should say before we end the clip, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that he is just outwardly saying this type of stuff. That's how belligerent he's getting recently. He's getting so belligerent. He's getting so out of control that he's just outwardly saying like, hey, like he even said in the last clip that I played of him last week, he said all this would stop if Megyn Kelly was just willing to criticize Candace Owens. It's like, what? So he's basically saying, hey, I'm attacking you so much. Me and Micro Mark are attacking you so much because you won't criticize Candace. Until you do, we're going to keep on doing this. So imagine what Michael Knowles is going through. As Michael Knowles says, he denies Ben when Ben says, hey, say her name with a sentence in it. When he's trying to get him to actually bash Candace Owens, and he won't do it. Matt Walsh folded right away. Matt was like, yes, sir, Candace. He's like, say her name, Matt Walsh. Oh, I just don't think I should. We've been friends. Say her name, Matt Walsh. It's Candace. Say her name, Matt Walsh. It's Candace. Say her name, Matt Walsh. It's Candace Owens. That's right, Matthew. I do this because I love you, Matthew. You understand this. Time after time, I've told you that I love you so much. He's rubbing his head, This is on his shoulders, rubbing his head. Oh my gosh. He's just smaller and smaller. Every time I make a video, he's just smaller and smaller and smaller. He's like Ant-Man. He's going to be like Ant-Man. I'm going to keep talking about him and Matt Walsh. And eventually I'm just going to be like, and Ben Shapiro's just hanging on to Matt Walsh's earlobe. And he's just like, get back to work, Matt Walsh. He's climbing inside Matt's ear. Oh, you're going to get to work, Matt Walsh. Get to work, Matt Walsh. He's clawing through. He's trying to get to his brain. He's like, he's climbing through his eyes. He's like, I'm in your frontal cortex, finally. Now we'll get back to work, Matt Walsh. Walk, Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is like, oh, what's happening? Oh, God. Oh, God. That's the show. Matt Walsh's pinky, Ben Shapiro's brain, and eventually he just goes into Matt Walsh's head because Candace won't meet with Ben, right? Ben wants to meet with Candace, but he doesn't want Candace to know. So he goes inside Matt's head and he schedules a meeting because Matt Walsh doesn't want to hurt Candace. Ben Shapiro has other plans. Oh, that's a perfect. Come on, that's a perfect cartoon. Let's go. Come on, that's perfect. We can make 4 seasons of that show. Anyway, guys, sorry, I got a little excited. I apologize. It's true though. You guys aren't watching that? Everything I just said, we lay that out in a real cartoon. You guys aren't watching that with us? You guys serious? Nah, you guys are tripping. You guys are watching that with us. Come on. Don't be like that. You guys got to watch that with us. I'm watching this clip. I'm watching this clip blind. It's Billy and Brandy here. Let's see what they have to say.
A little bit about our discussion that we had today in the courtroom with one of Tyler Robinson's family members. When we walked into the courtroom, we sat in the second pew. We just got lucky with that. That's where we were standing in line. Everyone walked in single file, and we were seated directly behind Tyler Robinson's entire family.
Yeah, and we did not know that at the time at all. And do you want to talk a little bit about who we sat next to?
Yeah, so we sat next to a man. We had never met him before. He seemed very shaken up. He was very traumatized just being in the same room as Tyler Robinson, it seemed.
Because he was a witness. He was at UVU on the day of the event.
Yeah, so I hugged him and we got to chatting a little bit. I was trying to just ask him questions just to get his mind off of whatever he was dealing with inside. And then that kind of led to casual debating or conversation about whether Tyler Robinson could have committed this crime.
Yeah, we were telling him about our podcast and our theories about what happened, and he was pretty dead set on it being Tyler Robinson. And this man's hard of hearing. He used to be in a band, so he was talking kind of loudly. And this was during a recess. It wasn't during the court hearing. Everyone was kind of chatting. So I was sitting here, then it was Billy, then it was Travis. And like she said, we weren't debating. We were just having a conversation. And then someone in front of us turned around and kind of looked at Travis and, said, "I'm so sorry for everything that you're feeling and everything that you've gone through. But just so you know, we're Tyler's family. We're all sitting right here. And if you could just be a little bit more quiet with your discussion, because we're going through a hard time as it is. And I just don't think that we want to hear what you're saying right now."
We apologized profusely. We felt so bad. Even Travis was apologetic, even though he was on the side of, well, I think Tyler Robinson did it. I think the last thing that he had said before she turned around was, "I just want to tell you guys, the bone structure in the stairwell photos matches that guy," pointing at real life Tyler Robinson, "matches his bone structure."
But funny enough, in fast forward 2 hours in the future, we were both looking at this photo of Tyler Robinson and then the photo on our board, the one behind here. And we both were looking at it and I'm like, "That's not the same person." And he goes, "Yeah, they kind of don't really look the same." And I was like, "Yeah, that's literally not the same person, dude." And he was like, "Yeah, the chin's kind of different." And I was like, "Yeah, it is. It is."
Back to the family member that we spoke with. After we were super, super apologetic, she was so kind.
So nice.
Yeah. She was like, "It's okay. It's okay. Trust me. We're not mad. We just don't want to be hearing this stuff." I kind of threw Travis under the bus and I was like, "We don't agree with him, by the way." Which is really funny in that moment because I just met this guy. I've been like consoling him and now I'm like, "We don't agree with anything he's saying, by the way."
Yeah. But like not in a mean way. Like we're just like, "Yeah, we completely we disagree. We think there's way more people involved and way more to the story." And she was kind of like, "Yeah, I overheard what you guys were saying and I appreciate that." And then I think, is that when she turned around again and then she turned back around later on?
Yeah, which I was so excited about because I had more that I wanted to say to her. And I just kept hoping that she would turn back around again. And thankfully she did.
Yeah, so when she turned back around again, she kind of reiterated that she wasn't upset or anything. And she was kind of consoling Travis again, because I think he started crying again.
Yeah.
And she kind of like touched his leg and is like, it's okay. Like, you know, I'm really sorry for everything that you went through. And then she looked at us and just said, you know, your sweatshirts are cute, which they are. And we were like, yeah, we have a podcast and we're kind of just talking about all the different theories that are going on within this investigation.
She then just reiterated again that she's happy that we're doing what we're doing, that we're investigating further, because people our age, especially growing up, we haven't gotten any of the correct information.
Oh yeah, she specifically said people your age
don't get any of the truth.
Yeah, you guys are constantly being lied to.
Yeah, and then I asked her, I said, I'm not sure if this is inappropriate to ask, but why haven't you spoken out to people like Candace?
And she didn't even say who's Candace. She knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, she did not look confused. She didn't look taken aback. She knew who I was talking about. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say Candace Owens. I said Candace.
Yeah, and she just basically said, it doesn't matter who you talk to in the media, everything's going to get misconstrued. And she said about 2% of what you guys are hearing in the media about Tyler is true.
Yeah.
2%. And so...
What does that mean? What's going on? It's weird. It's very weird because when you hear that, and then you also hear recently, I'm sure we all remember, Andrew was like, there is a mountain of evidence. He's like, there is a Mount Everest level of evidence. He's like, there is more evidence than we had people watching our halftime show. He's like, there's more evidence than Erica has glitter. I mean, he was just saying there is so much evidence that Tyler Robinson did this, right? A lot of these people who shouldn't have this information are sharing that they have this information. Officer Tatum, Dan Robocop Gino, and Andrew Blake, they're all talking about all this evidence that there is, right? Dead to rights, as they keep on saying. So then you hear that 2%. It's like, which 2%? And which part is wrong? Is it him running? Is it him taking the shot? Is it him being at UVU? I want to know. I want to know so badly. So badly. Did they ask that? I hope that's where it goes next.
What does that mean? Maybe that he dropped off clothes or he was at Dairy Queen, but 2%?
Yeah. And you
What?
had mentioned, I don't think that sounds like his dad turned him in.
Okay, so to that point, we asked her, we said, straight up, we said, do you think Tyler was capable of doing this? And she said, no.
She said, I know him and no.
And so, circling back to what you just said, if the mainstream media is saying that Tyler's family turned him in, does it sound like his family turned him in if someone in his family is literally telling us 2% of what you're hearing is true? I don't think he's capable of doing this. No.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
No.
And I have to say, I don't think anyone has spoken to Tyler's family members, and we're not going to reveal who we spoke to.
She did ask to remain anonymous.
Yeah. So, we're not going to say who it was, but it doesn't sound to me like the narrative of his family turning him in is even remotely true.
Not at all. No.
And his family was visibly upset. His dad was super upset. And I'm not saying that Tyler is innocent by any means. I mean, I think that he was involved, but I don't know if he knew what he was getting involved in. And I do not think he pulled the trigger at all.
That's very interesting. So it's a she, right? They won't say who it was. It's a she. From what I know, Tyler doesn't have a sister. I think he has a brother, right? So it's not a sister. Could it be his mom that they were talking to? That would be huge. That would be huge, and good on them for being able to say, yo, we're not telling you that his mom told us all this. I mean, wild. That's not a secret that I'd be able to keep. Not at all. I'd be like, the next video, all caps, just talked to Tyler Robinson's mom. Here's what she said. So good for them. Good for them. Solid. But who could it be from there? Brian Enton, he was the one that played had a video of him talking to a family member, quote unquote. This didn't sound like a family member at all. Of Lance's. He said Lance Twiggs' family member. But for some reason, the family member didn't know much about Lance. The family member was referring to Lance's family, which is a weird thing to say when you are his family. I don't talk about, I don't talk about me and my brothers, of us don't have the same moms. Some of us don't have the same dads. I don't talk about their family like their family. I talk about it's family. It's all family, right? So that's a weird thing. I don't talk about my niece and nephew and their family, right? I don't do that. It's a very weird thing. My cousins, I don't say we're family, right? So it didn't make any sense. And the last thing that interview, I don't know if you remember, it was like a black silhouette. And then the last question that Brian asks, and he's doing this for News Nation. He's not doing this on his own independent source, his own YouTube channel. He's doing this for, I believe, News Nation. And the last question he asks is, do you think that they got the right guy? And she's like, without a shadow of a doubt, like 100%, I think they got the right guy. It was Tyler Robinson. And it was like just stuff that she couldn't possibly know. Didn't make any sense. Now we have Billy and Brandy talking about this whole thing. And they seem way more truthful. I'm not going to lie. And it sounds crazy. By hearing what they just said, you're like, what is going to happen here? What is going to happen here when this trial happens? It sounds like there's a big pile of evidence, but then there's also only 2% of this stuff that you're hearing is actually true. Someone in the comments said, yeah, name and address. That's the 2%. Did they even release an address? I know they released the name, right? And then when it's like he's involved, but he didn't know what he was involved in, I think that's a possibility as well. I think that's a big possibility. I think it's a big possibility that he's like on the roof and he's about to do his thing. Or he thinks that he's supposed to do it. And then all of a sudden the shot goes off. And he's like, oh no. Yeah, can you turn this off for me? Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I have my wife turning off my heater because it's getting too hot. It's getting way too hot. She's 9 months pregnant. I'm having her turn things off. Thank you so much, honey. I love you very much. You will hear from the wife on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, yeah. But I think there's a possibility that he's on the roof about to do that, right? And then the shot goes off. And he's like, what the hell? And he gets up and he runs. Maybe. That's if he's even there. If there's some kind of thing the defense is like, oh, he wasn't even there, it's going to be like, what do you mean? It's going to be crazy. The wife's doing okay. She's doing okay. She's doing great. But we're almost there. We're almost at that date. And then we'll have 2. Then there will be 2. And then there was 2. So can't wait for that. Can't wait. More nervous this time around because now there's 2, I hear it gets easier when there's more, like when you get 3 and 4, but they're both small. So we'll see. But yeah, he could be involved and just not have realized what he's involved in. There is that possibility, I can't wait. I can't wait to see this whole thing play out. So many people who are like on the quote unquote other side of things are like, oh, when you see this trial, like Officer Tatum, you are all going to eat your words when you see what is on this. When y'all hear the amount of evidence that they have, y'all are going to be so eating crow and sending me apologies on my email and my voicemail. Y'all are going to be so upset. Oh, y'all going to go look so terrible. Nothing's going to happen to anybody. If it turns out he's guilty, nothing's happening to anybody. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, we were looking into it. Okay. So, and then people are going to start looking into the case. Like, you think it's just going to stop just because you think that's the end point? What? It's going to keep on going in terms of like trying to figure out what's what. Maybe everything looks on the up and up. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. Shout out to Billy and Brandy. I don't get to cover their stuff nearly enough. Thank you, Lionel, for resharing this. Appreciate you, Lionel. Right? Lionel's the one that reshared it. He made sure to put it out there. Candace Owens News reposted it as well. Shout out to them. So yeah, that's the clip, Lance. Let's keep on going here. Now, what do I have next? What do I have next for you guys? Let's see here. Oh, I got Lindsey Graham at Disney World by himself. Now, Lance showed me this, right? Somebody showed this. Lindsey Graham, agitated for this war, is now on vacation at Disney World. Reminder, he has no wife or kids. Why is he there? Now, when Lance sent me this, I was laughing a little bit, but then I remembered. You know what I remembered? I remembered that there is a reason that he could be there, right? Now, I'm going to say allegedly, maybe, perhaps, but I'm just going to throw this in here really quick. Let's check this out here. We're just going to put in Club 33 Disney World, right? We're just going to put that in really quick. You ever heard of that? Huh? Never heard of that? Never heard of Club 33? So, let me show you. Let me show you here. So, there is something in Disney World. This could be why he was there. Club 33 membership. It's a legendary private membership club only by Walt Disney. It's at Walt Disney Resort. The value of a membership. Members enjoy special access and exceptional service at Club 33 at Walt Disney World Resort. Each venue is uniquely themed to represent Walt and Lillian's adventures around the world. Okay. It's a membership. Apparently it costs something like $30,000, something of that nature. But people have always talked about Club 33, right? I'll even go on X right now. Let's check out what somebody has to say about Club 33, because there is a whole lot to it. It's this weird club, 33 Disney World. It's this weird club. Nobody has any idea what goes on inside of it at all. No one has a clue. And the name in itself is very, very odd, right? It's called Club 33. Why is it called Club 33? Let's just see if there's anything that pops up here. So we have this one thing. Oh, people are already talking about it. Oh, Alex Stein talking about it. Why is there a childish... Oh, man. Alex Stein. So we have this here. Club 33, Disneyland. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this club is. I could not tell you for the life of me what goes on here. I just want to make sure this doesn't say anything too wild. First ever club opened above Disneyland's Pirate of the Caribbean attraction in 1967, still operating today. Okay, let me just see everything you need to know about Club 33. All right. I just want to make sure there's nothing crazy. Like, kind of like everything we're thinking about this kids amusement park and there being a Club 33 for men. Yeah, everything that's going through our minds right now. I just want to make sure they're not saying anything like that explicitly. So like I thought, how much does the membership cost? Throughout Disney parks were expensive. Buckle up. The last reported cost consisted of a hefty $35,000. How come you wouldn't make it $33,000 upfront membership fee, followed by an annual fee of $16,000? There you go. Very weird. What do these perks come with? Let's see. They'll tell you like the general perks, but nobody actually knows because it's hard to even know who's a member. What do the perks come with? For those willing and able to fork over the cash, etc. Walt Disney annual pass for your spouse, your kids, etc. 50 single day park hopper tickets, 5 VIP membership tours, VIP tours each year, entry to the VIP events and experiences, including attraction previews and exclusive parties. You get Club 33 concierge access, a select number of Genie Plus reservations, ability to purchase exclusive Club 33 merchandise. I feel like there's some code in there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about Lindsay, you know? Not saying anything about him. I'm just saying it seems a little weird, okay? It's made it's made for men. It's not men only, but that's who it's for. And then it's just like, oh, you just get all this stuff. Oh, it's just Disney stuff. But then it's like, also there's exclusive parties. Huh? What? What happens at these parties? You know? Someone said they'll have I can't even say that, platter. Nah, I'm not saying that. But yeah, that's what everybody's thinking, right? They're like, oh, you can come to this island. You guys want to come to this island? Club 33 Island. You want to head over there? Mickey Mouse is just the flight attendant. Oh, what's going on, guys? Would you like a black, white, or Asian? You guys were all thinking it. We were all thinking it. Whatever. Act like we weren't. We were all thinking about it. Anyway. No one was thinking that. It was just me. Mickey walks up with a platter. Oh, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? We have blacks, white, and Asians. Come on, everybody. You know? You want... What do you want on the island? What are you guys looking for on the island? Club 33. Do you want to keep them? Or should we get rid of them after? What are you looking for? Right? Right? I mean, what are we talking about here? I'm the only one thinking that? Come on. Come on. We only got 3 million of the 6 million, okay? There's another 3 million, okay? What do you think's redacted in those ones? I'm just saying, okay? I'm not saying anything that we were all thinking about it. They're sickos. We know that, right? You think Mickey's exempt? Mickey was made by Walt Disney. Walt Disney wasn't the greatest guy. I don't know if you heard, okay? He wasn't the most fantastic guy in the world. He built something pretty great, but, you know, he has a past on him. You know? What's your name, little boy? Your name's Bill? Would you like black, white, or Asian? You want him to speak English? Or do you want him to not speak English? Do you want an American? I'm just saying. What? Nobody's thinking that, right? It's just me. It's just me. I'm crazy, right? That's how it is. It's fine if that's how it is, right? What are we talking about here? All right, everyone get off the island. What seems to be the problem? Some guys is like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I just want to get back on the plane. This isn't a game. You got on the plane. You're a part of Club 33 now. You better do it. It's you or them. Oh, you think it's not dark? It's dark, man. Come on. What are we talking about here? Anyway. You're gonna do it, or I'm gonna kill you. Right? Anyway. I'm sorry. I don't even have time to go into the whole council thing. I don't even have time to go into that today. I don't have time to go into JP Spears either. Dang. We're already at 2:40. I didn't think I'd go that long. I always think I'm only going to have like 30 minutes of content, and it always pushes through somehow. And that is the clip, Lance. You know? Me and Fleet have to make that cartoon. That could be a lot longer. It doesn't have to be like 3 minutes. That could be a lot longer. That's like a whole thing. Oh yeah, that's a whole thing. I gotta write that down. Club 33. Hopefully this cartoon network that Fleet and I want to start up, hopefully it can pay for security. That's what we're trying to get to, you know. So, hoping it can pay for security. That's about it. Anyway. How are you, Bill? Where's your wife? I can tell you where your wife is. I can tell you where your kids are. Here's a picture of them at home. You sure you don't want to go through with this? Oh, it gets dark. It gets dark, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's jump over here. I'm just saying. It's not the craziest thing. I'm not bringing up anything crazy. I'm just saying. Right? Anyways, guys. We got a doctor's appointment today, so we got to get it. We got to get into the no, let me unlike that one. First come, first serve. All the way to the top. The tippy top. Legendary Bree says, I just want to say I'm sorry for the uncalled for hate you've been receiving on X. These people have lost their minds. Well, that's okay, Bree, because it's actually just one person. It's just one person with multiple accounts, so it's completely okay. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Tammy, what is this? Shuckertit? Tamis Shuckertit? No, Tammy Shucker. You're making me burp here, Tammy. Tammy Shuckert. Okay. Coach, I would love to hear you laugh about Gary's and investigative broad's moment. They realized they were busted. Gary's podcast last night, timestamp around 2:40. Oh, gosh. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look into that tomorrow. Oh, I will 100% look at that. I will. I promise you. It'll be like top of the docket. Gary and Broad. What a thing to call yourself. It's so funny. 2:04. Okay, perfect. I will do that. I will definitely do that. And when they realize they're busted. Oh, I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for telling me about that. Because there's no way I could sit through that podcast. Or investigative broad demolishing a cheeseburger and fries during the professional top-notch IQ pod. Really? What? That's amazing. You guys have no idea. When I have to run to the washroom for 22 seconds, I start sweating. I'm like, oh no, I got to do this. I can't believe you're doing this to me right now, body. I get so upset. She's smashing a cheeseburger. This girl said demolishing a cheeseburger in front of I wonder what Gary's reaction was. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Legendary Bree, thank you for those timestamps, by the way. Legendary Bree, Gare Bear, friend of the show. Any other Gary timestamps you have, please let me know. I mean, just please, because it's so hard to sit through. Have you ever heard this song, 1 Week, by Bare Naked Ladies? It says hoodwink in the song. Classic 90s song. Love your show. Listening while welding. That's amazing. Weld by Design 444. Thank you so much for that. I have not. I probably know that song if I heard it. Probably, Bare Naked Ladies. They're they have that. They have the. It's 1 week since you looked at me. They have a whole bunch of crazy songs. The Florida Rican, JD apparently confronts BB about the intel that was given to Prez Orange. Do you think this was a planned event to garner support for 28? He's he's a part of the tech bros / AI takeover, hoodwinked once again. Yeah. There is actually a video that I was going to talk about on the members just because it was linked to like UFOs and demons. But he seems to be doing something that is trying to garner support for 28. He is doing things that is reaching out to a certain demographic that is, I don't know. It seems like it to me because he's just basically like, I haven't played it, but I'm going to talk about it on the members just because I want to expand on it. But he talks about how he thinks that UFOs, aliens, are demons. And I'm like, what? Like, you're saying this with Benny Johnson, and, you know, any interview with Benny Johnson's very set up. It's not like he's sitting down with Joe Rogan over here, right? So that's very a set up thing. I find it very weird, especially that he's saying it now. It's kind of like Pierre Poilievre. I don't even know how you Poilievre. You know, guy who was supposed to be prime minister in Canada. He lost the election, but he goes on Joe Rogan's podcast and all of a sudden he's like swearing on the podcast. You know, like politicians do that thing. They're like, oh, this is what the morons like, right? Like when I swear, like, oh, aliens are demons, right? Yeah, I'm an idiot too. You know, they have this idea. You know, they're trying to be like us. But yeah, I've been noticing he's doing that. I think you're 100% right. Nothing gets past the Florida Rican. The Veiled Reckoning, hands down, Coach Colin over burner accounts all day. Yeah, those burner accounts were ridiculous. You know how I knew they were burner accounts at the end of the day? Is because one guy was coming at me from the original account, then he disappears. And then these two accounts are just going at me. They're just going at me in the most like immature, silly ways. And I'm just joking around with them. And then I block the burner accounts. And then right away, he blocks me. I'm like, we haven't even been talking. Why did the main account, who I was dealing with, why did he block me? I haven't even said anything to him. I blocked the burners. It's because no longer could he talk to me. So he was like, screw. George Webb did the exact same thing. I mean, me and Lance have a hilarious story. We're like, is that you, George? Nope. Block. It just blocked everybody. Blocked me, blocked Lance. It's like, what? All because we called out this burner account that he has. Is that you, George? Nope. Block. Is like this account that wasn't him blocked, and then all of a sudden George at the exact same time blocked. I'm like, oh, this guy is clearly burner accounts here. It's so silly. But you know, I heard the other guy, not George. I heard the other person I've been hearing that there's possibly a cousin or some kind of family member that's at Fort Huachuca. Something weird, but I'll look into it later. I don't really care. Barron gets into cool beefs with like Blake and Andrew's gonna probably answer Barron soon. And like, I get into like some beef with a crazy person. Like, it's not even fair. Barron gets Blake. He gets a back and forth with Blake. I get a back and forth with some lunatic. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like some lunatic that has a rap sheet filled with fraud. I'm like, what? That's not fair. Where's my Andrew back and forth? Whatever. I don't want any back and forth anyway. Thank you, Travis, for getting a lot of us here today. Love your show. Go Max. Travis, yeah, thank you for sharing that, Travis. Appreciate you. Travis has been doing his thing for a long time. I've shared a lot of tweets from Travis. Slinky Druski titles it "Conservative White Women," not Erica Kirk. Druski's Erica Kirk version is 100%. His moves are synonymous with this lady's. I think he is doing her too. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? That's what Druski does. When he does, like when he did the whole pastor thing, you could find an exact scene of a pastor. He's even wearing the same suit as the pastor. Like, this is where he's imitating this pastor named Michael Todd. So it's the exact same thing. But then he does another thing, and it's from other people. So not everything in that was from Erica. Like, we've never seen Erica order any kind of latte or anything like that, or in her car. We've never seen that before. So who is that? Because when he does a sketch, every single thing he does is exactly from someone. So the whole thing in Pilates and all that, we don't know Erica to do any of that. But there's some other conservative lady who for sure is in the public eye who has done that. We probably don't even know. We'll probably get revealed who these other people are soon. M, what's going on, M? M, friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen, has some solid theories. Not all heroes wear capes. Some go live in the morning with elite commentary. Thank you so much, M. We really appreciate you. Thanks for that. Julie loves Yoda. Coach to Coach AM for people who know. That's an Art Bell reference. Yeah, I'm the new Art Bell. If I could fill those shoes, you know, I'd have to go out to a desert. Just me and a Starlink in a desert. And that's what I'd have to do. That was his whole thing. He was a wild dude. David J. Good morning, Minty Fresh crew. Hit that like button. Much love. Yes, guys, please hit that like button. I know sometimes people forget to hit the like button because you're just in the mix. You're in there. You're looking at the live chat. It's going. But please try to remember to hit the like button. It helps the channel immensely. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a big word. It helps the channel dastardly. I mean, it's just so good. Legendary Bleak. Gary is the military bro version of Blake Neff, but worse. Yeah, that is kind of true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Sad, but true, you know? Just say Julie, lest Gary forget how Candace is internationally known and also known to rock the microphone. Oh, you are. That is an old reference. The younger people don't know what you're talking about. Internationally known, and I'm known to rock the mic. I can't even say it. I couldn't even say the song. I don't even remember the song. That's how old that song is. I usually remember old songs. Raw bass inspiration. There you go. Pull up, coach. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday. Is it Sunday right now? Can you imagine it's Sunday right now? Watermelons are delicious. I have a feeling this person just makes that their so I actually have to say it out loud. Shabbat Shalom, Daddy's not home. I said to my toddler as I adjusted the thermostat this morning after my husband left, amused myself. That's it. You're yelling that? Oh, Daddy's not home. That's so funny. It's so funny. You're saying that to your kid. You know, got to get one of those shirts from Candace. I was thinking about getting one of those shirts, you know. Did you know Gary had a debate with a YouTuber named Zach Costello? I know. I saw that as well. Zach also debated Andrew Wilson. Yes, which was painful to watch. Andrew Wilson also always delivers a fierce debate. Yeah, he does. Also, people who debate are losers. I hope Zach's not offended by that, but I mean, it's just the worst thing in the world. It's just the worst. Zach, I actually talked to, he actually said it was supposed to be a conversation and it actually turned into a debate. So it actually wasn't supposed to be a debate, but Andrew is a part of this weird thing going on when it comes to this Turning Point Charlie Kirk stuff. So he is going to change it into that. He's one of those people where he's not allowed to be seen getting along with someone that has the opinions that align with Candace. He is just not allowed. That's why you never see it. That's exactly why. So, yeah, there is no chance he was going to have a good faith conversation with Zach. Zach's just walking into those. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? I don't know. I would never do that. Never. And if someone tried to do it while I'm talking to them, I'd be like, we're not doing that, nerd. You know? I try to knock people out of that. Like, I had a conversation once with this like left-wing journalist. He's extremely left-wing, and he's like one of those guys that's like, no, I'm not. You can't really pin down my politics. And it's like, okay. And then you're like, you hate Elon Musk. I'm like, okay, like this is a weird thing to do. Like, I don't like Elon either so much, but it's like, I don't hate him because of his political stance, right? So anytime this guy would try and slip into debate mode, I'd be like, hey man, like, why are you being like this? Like, calm down. Like, I would just be like, calm down. We're not doing this. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be civil. And he would be like, okay. And he'd switch back to being a normal person. And then slowly he'd be like, this is my chance. I'm on Piers Morgan. And I'd be like, no, calm down. It was just like over and over again. It was so weird. It was like a dog from the pound that's like getting used to people again. You know, it's been through some bad things. Yeah. It just thinks everything's a debate. Everything's a fight. So I despise that debate energy. It's just so like, bleh, bleh, bleh. Anyway, Toilet Paper USA is so low IQ. How low IQ? Okay, is this like, okay, you're setting something up here. Let me set it up properly. Toilet Paper USA is so low IQ. How low IQ are they? We just saw proof in print on letterhead. Why are you always coming with these dad jokes, Slinky? You're always coming with these dad jokes. We just saw proof in print on letterhead. Well, there you go. There you go. Another one from Slinky. Unveiled Reckoning. You're part of our daily routine at home. My son and I listen to your show while we wait for his school bus each morning. Thank you for giving us a great start to our morning. Core memories. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for all the swearing from Andrew. This guy was talking about licking sniz and ditches, right? So sorry about that. Apologize. Didn't realize. Sarah Jane. We don't accept bullying of Black Poppy. Nunca, nunca. Oh, this lady was going in. This lady was going in so hard that other people were like, is this coach? Is this person coach? She's like, no, I'm not coach. She's like, me and coach are family. She's like, I will not accept any slander of coach. She was going hard in the comments on X. I was like, wow, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is not me. I'm like, I who else would fight this hard? So thank you so much, Sarah. We really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. But you know, at the end of the day, we figured out like it was all one guy. So it's like kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's like a weird movie with a plot twist at the end, you know? Oh yeah, we gotta go soon. Abigail, welcome to the Mint Daddy crew. See you tomorrow after Candace. Emily, can't afford much, but here's a teeny tiny something because the YouTube overlords are messing with you today. You think so? Keep fighting the good fight. Thanks for the laughs and the X coverage. I can't handle that place. Yeah, a lot of people can't. It's rough. You gotta have tough skin for X. Hi, coach. Tagged you on X Jessica RK. Who tagged you on X Jessica? Oh, tagged you on X Jessica RK. Was at the UVU in October, same as Gary and Witness Henry and Fedslop Gray Hughes. Who'd I miss? Uncle Rick, maybe? Who are all those people? Okay, I know Gary, but who's Jessica RK? Oh, you tagged me in it, so I'll check it out when I have a chance. But yeah, like I don't know. They're all at UVU in October. Oh, yes. There was a lot of people at UVU in October. Some people were trying to dispel the official narrative. Some people were trying to dispel the official narrative or just look deeper into it. Like Diligent Dennison, he was doing a great job there. And then other people were like analyzing things like Gary. Gary seemed like he was like, oh, you know, Gary was trying to position himself as someone who was like, you know, we got to question what's going on here. But the whole time he was just trying to lead people away from questioning. And now the mask is dropped and you can tell, like, you know, he's not questioning anything, nothing. Plus he works adjacent to a federal, I don't want to say federal agency, but, you know, in his work, you will end up working with people from the Bureau, maybe even people from the agency, because he trains a lot of people. Same thing if you were like a jiu-jitsu guy. Like you end up training cops, you end up training people in law enforcement, maybe high security types, like all sorts of people. When it comes to firearms and fighting, it's like, you know, those are the guys who are going to be really wanting to hone those skills quite a bit. So he has connection to that. And I think that's where his connection to Brian Harpole comes from, because Brian also needed people trained tactically, right? Say war coach 19 times. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it. It was too much. Barron was off. He was going nuts. Gary and Lisa watching Barron last night. Then at the end, they're like 2 super chats. LOL. Lisa looked pale, clammy, unwell by the end. She was rattled. Oh, did they watch Barron's whole episode? Yeah, that's a lot for them to handle. Because then well, I shouldn't say turning point, but then somebody is like, we need you to handle this Barron guy. And they're like, oh shit. Oh, I don't know. Can we get Andrew Wilson? Can he help with this? You know, so that whole thing. Coach, I think Barron's latest episode may have triggered X to modify their algorithm this morning. It was that powerful. Possibly. It was very powerful. He wasn't playing around. Andrew debates OF girls on the whatever podcast and lefties on Pierce Morgan. Barron would run circles around him and he wouldn't let Andrew deflect like he normally does. Mint Daddy baby registry. Steph 007. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've seen with Andrew so much. Yeah, I've seen him debate like Wes Watson. So it's like OF girls, lefties on Pierce Morgan's, and like manosphere guys as well. I mean, it's just the thing he does, right? Like everybody, they find their way, and it's fine, but it's just like, I don't know. I think Barron would win, but I think they're trying to suck him into something very different than what everybody thinks. I think everybody thinks it's normal, and I don't think it is. Proverbs 29:9 ESV. If a wise man has an argument with a fool, the fool only rages and laughs, and there is no quiet. Yes, exactly. Oh, that was just what we were talking about, too. Perfect. Exactly. 100%. Curious Joel, friend of the show. Schnizlik is on Pierce sometimes, and the dude is so terrible. Even when he's on the right side, once you mention the schniz, you have lost the debate. Ref should have came in and ended it like a boxing match. Yeah, exactly. When he started going off, he's just basically berating the girl with swear words. It's like what are you doing, man? And it's because the whole baby father thing triggers. Like it's a hard thing for a guy to do. Like I said, shout out to guys who can do that, but it's a hard thing. And if somebody throws it in your face, and you're the guy who's like espousing like these Christian values, there are people who maybe aren't of the Christian faith who can look at that and say, oh, well, you're not really like, you might be a Christian. Your wife is not. I mean, and like, what kind of lady did you, there's a whole bunch of things they can throw at you. But I mean, that was just the one thing I saw where he was just like gross. I was like, this is so ridiculous. But it's mostly like that. It's mostly that berating of people. Me and my friend, funny enough, I do have to go, but I should tell this story. Me and my friend, we talk about the Whatever podcast, and the guy who hosts it. We've been like seeing clips of this podcast for years. And we're like, eventually, that guy's going to start dating one of those models. He's going to start dating one of them. And we always have this joke that he gets off on what he's doing, because it's always a guy berating some young, super pretty, like model, quote unquote. You know what I mean? They're always berating them and yelling at them, and it's like they get off on it. And it's a weird thing. Very weird thing. We always laugh about it because it's like that's what this guy likes. It's like, no, you're going to be quiet. Actually, when I'm talking on my show, you're going to be quiet. And if you don't like it, you can leave. We didn't ask for you to be here. It's like that type of energy all the time. I'm like, oh, he loves talking to girls. He never gets to talk to girls this pretty. And he never gets to talk to them like this. And he loves it. He loves it. And then he calls his boy Andrew. And his boy Andrew's like, let me tell you why you chicks are all stupid. And he's just like, oh God. Oh, tell them they're stupid again, Andrew. Oh, God. Oh. I messed up the front of my pants. Oh, gosh. Oh, like he likes it. I think he likes it a little bit. Me and my friend have an ongoing joke about that whole thing. Naughty thing. And no, I'm not coming to debate you. And no, I'm not going to debate you, bro. You're scared. Sure, whatever, man. Holy Fire Luna. I already have to debate a toddler all the time about toys and changing diapers and okay. Kids 2 years old. I have enough debate going on, Holy Fire Luna. Don't have much to say, but love the community you've built, Coach. There's some good people in here, people who will fight tooth and nail for truth. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I think it was Whitney that was saying that to me the other day. It's not me. It's not me that's built this community. It's you guys. You guys who come back day after day. You guys, Holy Fire Luna, you're one of them. The people who come back day after day and are good to people in the chat and make friends in the chat. And, it's the mods that, foster great community. It's really not me, man. I joke around. I tell jokes. I have fun, but it's you guys. It's you guys that do it. So thank you guys for building this community, for being a part of this community. Thanks for recapping everything, Coach. I'm 8 months pregnant and do not have time to listen to everything. Congratulations, Ozzy Jess. Congratulations. You are 1 month behind us. I hope everything's going good. All the doctor checkups are going good. Hope you're feeling okay. Hope you're sleeping okay. I know my wife's been having a lot of trouble with that for a long time, so hope you're feeling good. Gary Melton is a part of that church tagged on X. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've been D Anderson Music. You've been linking me some pretty solid stuff. I haven't been able to go through it all quite yet because I was just getting ready for the show, but thank you for tagging me. Hats cover Cash Patel's password. My girlfriend loves me for real, and she's a country music sensation. Definitely not with the one at the end. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Third party prophet. I like Andrew's debates. You learn a lot from them, but I disagree with his Candace take. He said she got some things wrong on the Brigitte story. Probably never saw her corrections. Team Candace on this one. Yeah, I don't really think you learn much from debates. And I don't think that's why people have debates. I think when they're like in Oxford and those type of things, but the debates that you're watching with like Pierce Morgan and Andrew and like all these debates that are like scheduled up for these people who are just debating, what you're learning more is tactics that people use when they're in arguments to seem like they're right. That's what you learn in those debates. You're not really coming away with solid information because then the other side comes with information that counters it, or the other side deflects and says that's not really that. So it's like you're not coming away with any solid information, like as if the people debating don't usually go, you know what, you're right about that one. And yeah, so that is a good point. So that right there, okay, that's common ground for sure. Let's move on. You don't get that from debates. So it feels like it's one of those things. And believe me, because I used to be huge into consuming a lot of content, personal development stuff. I used to be huge into it. Helped a lot, but after so much, you start to learn you're not really learning anything. As much as it seems. You're not learning as much as you feel like you're learning. It feels like that because you feel like you're watching two intellectuals have a conversation. And when that happens, you do learn. But what they're doing is not trying to teach each other, and they're not trying to learn. They're using tactics to seem like they're right. So you're actually not learning as much as you feel you are. I mean, like, write down some notes after you're done a debate. After you're done watching one, write down what you've learned. It's not going to be as much as you think. Just saying. There's a lot of that online where it feels like you're learning something incredible, but you're not learning that much. Tim Pool is the worst. He hurts my ears to listen and burns my eyes to see. Jamie, how dare you? Tim's a nice man. Jamie in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie's a firecracker. Okay, like, come on. What is this? Angus Luisi? I'm calling you Lou. That's your fault. That's on you. So Lou says everyone needs to email their Congress people on April 16th and ask for the oversight committee to reinvestigate Charlie Kirk. That would be, yeah. Solid advice. I always like when people use the system to their benefit. Like it's there. And, if you don't use it, it's kind of just like, it's just sitting there, you're kind of subjected to it if you're not using it. So that is a smart idea. Dean C, but why April 16th? Dean C, Coach, let's not forget about that internet journalist that went to Haiti to investigate, but a preppy Nick or Tim can just meet up with the cartel. Yeah, I think you mean the person that got kidnapped, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's weird the way some can just go there and have these long meetings and others will end up in dire situations. How does that work? Kate, Curly is the GOAT. He adopted over 500 animals out during his comedy tours through his career. Love him. You do too. That's amazing. I didn't know that. See, I knew me calling Gary Curly wasn't an insult. This is a compliment. Curious your thoughts on Jack Hibbs, Butch's brother, Pompeo Safari ties, pushes Zio agenda, and Calvary Chapel has a plethora of issues, Turning Point vibes. My thoughts on Jack Hibbs, I mean, I don't know. He's just one of those guys. Like, I can't really give you a breakdown of him or his brother. They just seem like they're one of those guys. They seem just like the way I was covering the Turning Point pastors, the way I was covering them and like what they do and how they kind of manipulate their congregations and anyone who's willing to listen via YouTube. It just seems like they're like that. They don't seem honest. There is a crop of pastors. They talk about this crop of podcasters all the time. Nobody talks enough about these crop of pastors who are who are just political operatives. It's crazy. There's so many of them now. They're not doing anything. Listen, I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, the rest of it, I don't know. And Calvary Chapel, yeah, they have a bunch of issues. Very much, they're connected. The whole unholy mob thing that I used to cover, that I've covered at length, that goes into it. There's a whole bunch to that. I should bring that up again. I never did it via live stream. I should bring that up again. Me and Lance should bust out some research. Rachel, aka Heather, as she likes to be called, sends a membership out. Thank you very much. Let's go. 9K in the chat. Hit that like button. I got more memberships to give away. Wow. Love my Mint Daddy crew, Coach and Mrs. Coach. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Hit that like, guys. Crystal Moonbeam Z Cohen is not a real she. I didn't even realize that. Huh. I did not think that for a second. That's crazy. Also find it odd that Hunter and his wife was there with a 2-day-old preemie baby in the ICU. Yeah, that whole thing was weird. I think it was just Hunter. I don't know if his wife was there, but I know Hunter was there for sure, and his wife and the baby was in the ICU. It's a pretty crazy thing to do, you know? Un-F America at Turning Point feels like a setup. Turning Point making it seem like they can talk/debate groups against them. Candace or Barron show up at a Turning Point event. No way they would talk. That would be incredible for Candace to do. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Oh my God, it's like the SpongeBob episode where Plankton gets into SpongeBob's brain and operating from the inside. Wow, I'd never seen that. I have to check that out. I have never seen that before. Let me know about that one. Let me go back up here. We missed a few. That's funny. I'd never seen that episode. I haven't seen much SpongeBob, to be honest. Why didn't the Turning Point crew wait for the EMTs? They just jumped in the car. They didn't take the trauma bags. One of them's name was Connor. I talked about that at length. They didn't let them into the car. They let Frank into the car instead. They should have let one of those EMTs into the car, especially the one named Connor, because he actually had a specialization in what was going on to Charlie. Wounds like what Charlie had, he had a specialization in. He could have helped. He could have really helped. Big chat, Ben's eyebrows become Matt W's ear hair. His eyebrows grow once Ben enters his head. The Ben's buggle. Did you see Blake Neff's face when he saw the un-F lighter? He was like, why didn't we think of that? We would have sold millions. He's like, lighters. Yeah, because sparklers. Yeah. Guy admitted he doesn't even look like him. For sure, it's him. Seems like he's being manipulated or paid. I hate Lindsay. I live in Salt Lake. Or sorry, wait, what am I saying here? Why would I say Salt Lake? Why am I saying that? I don't know. No one likes him. Oh, Lindsay. I think it's Lindsay. What is it? Lindsay Cox or something? Another one from Heather. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Mike Riley. Mint Daddy Crew, Mike Riley. What's going on, Mint Daddy Crew? He says, my lady's 23 and her algorithm is full of fake. Erica Kirk replies to Druski, misinformation. It's crazy the stronghold they have over them. Yeah, I see a lot of that. A lot of people saying like, oh, she answered. Oh, she's suing. This, that. She's not. Moira! She's not suing. She's not doing anything like that whatsoever. So I don't know why people keep saying it. Ellie, welcome to the crew. Lisa, boxer dog mom, listen to you every day while walking the dog. Love the crazy looks I get when I burst out laughing. Thanks for another great start to the week. Thank you so much for always turning up. You're one of the people I was talking about in fostering a great community. Boxer dog, also don't like sharing a name with that crazy lady. Don't worry, you just got to do it proud. That's all you can do. Just be a better Lisa. Just be a better example of Lisa. By the wife, ice cream. Love y'all and this community. Thank you so much. Guys, I do have to get going. We got a doctor's appointment. We got to leave in the next 6 minutes. We got to leave in the next 33 minutes. No, I'm kidding. But thank you guys for showing up, showing out. Appreciate it. 9,000 in the chat today. We really, really appreciate that, guys. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yo, coach, get your wife some ice cream. Get your wife some ice cream. Yeah, I know she wants ice cream. She also wants ice cream. Can't have ice cream all the time. I'm trying to lose weight, so it's hard for me. It's a hard balance. It was a hard, you know, I'm trying to lose weight. She's trying to have ice cream. It's a very hard thing to deal with. But bye. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Candace is going live. Don't miss it. Baron going live. Don't miss it. They will both be on one. I am sure of it. 100%. And I will be back.